practically every one of the top 40 records being played on every radio station in the United States is a communication to the children to take a trip, to cop out, to groove. The psychedelic jackets on the record albums have their own hidden.
This is a special question. We don't want you to smoke genetically modified ganja. We want you to smoke the real thing. We want you to smoke the natural herb. Some call it marijuana, some call it sensimedia, some call it lamb's bread, and some people call it ganja.
Welcome to another edition of the Adam Dunn Show. I'm your host, Adam Dunn, and I'm back in Miami once again without my trusted sidekick, MTI. He's stuck in Denver. He did not want to make the trip. He got a case of the Davitis. He got the Davitis COVID syndrome kicked in right before takeoff, and he thought, fuck that.
Everybody listening right now, you're witnessing a historical rewrite at its finest. I mean, this is worthy of a Trump rally. It's so bullshit. But anyway, if that's your story you're sticking with, and you didn't want to go, okay.
So we are, again, like I said, back here in Miami. We've got Blue Da Vinci coming on in a little bit, but before that, I'm going to be chatting with our friends Brent from Apothecary and with what was his full name?
Justin from OZO.
Justin from OZO. Justin Hartman. I got that right at least.
You did.
From OZO Coffee, one of our sponsors, which I couldn't bring any OZO with me, so I've been demoted to some
Why? They didn't let you bring coffee
local
on a
pairings
plane?
here, but at least I'm going to have some coffee with my dabs at the beginning of the show to get the ball rolling. Dave,
why don't you put your headphones on until you have a guest?
I had an open input. I can hear you guys. I can hear. I don't really want to hear you. It's pretty much the.
Oh my goodness! Look at that! It only took him like 30 seconds. Rosendogs. There you go. Rosendogs is the winner. He had under 30 seconds. So
before I
send him to dundeal@adamdunshow.com, and we'll be sending you a fruit basket.
Yeah, with the glasses.
That's what we're going to do.
Rosendog will have like a refrigerator-sized box of giveaways that he has won over the last 6 months, and when we finally actually send it out. But I wanted to wish everybody a happy Halloween. I don't know what the fuck's going on this year.
What do you mean? They have those shooting cannons? You know how like they shoot the shirts at sporting events into the crowd? That's how they're giving away Halloween candy this year. So the kids come half a block away and you shoot candy to them.
You know what's crazy is I realized yesterday that I had last Halloween, without knowing what was going on this year, I invented in my mind the greatest idea ever, which I thought was the greatest idea ever. And now, once again, everybody, if you're listening to this show and you're looking for some new business opportunity to get into,
hold on,
this
let me
is
get
it.
My phone out.
You make a app for Halloween, right? And you have to sell a little box, which you put on your porch, which is an automatic candy vending machine thing that only gives one candy out at a time. And you got to scan the code from your phone to get your candy. Now that's the future of Halloween right there. Follow the map, scan the phone on the app, get your candy. Nobody has to touch nothing. That's
You are the Grinch that is stealing Halloween. You weren't happy being the Grinch that stole Christmas, and now you're going to fuck up Halloween for the kids.
I know
every Cartman out there is like, I hate you.
Yeah, but I know from the guy, like if I'm out there and I see somebody says, hey, take a candy, they're like full-size Snickers bars, I'm grabbing the whole fucking thing. It's right. It's gone. It's gone. Gone. Right?
So you're basically going to make everybody lower the bar to your ethics level about
that is our motto. Lowering the bar since 2014.
Could you imagine the 3-year-old, the mother, saying, okay, little Jamie, go take the card and scan your card and you'll get your candy. Wait in line, everybody. Give me a break.
That's exactly what's going to happen. Oops, that doesn't work, does it?
No, thank you.
That doesn't work.
How was your week otherwise? All good? Before you decided to get on a plane to come to Miami and make me sound like my fucking grandmother with you? I want to just... Jesus Christ.
Well, it's like to have a choice of staying. Well, actually, I heard Colorado's going to be beautiful next week. It's going to be 70 degrees. So it's a perfect opportunity to leave town and come back when it's all good again.
Go to the hottest spot, the hottest hot zone in the country, Miami,
Bring it back.
Be around a bunch of people who won't wear masks. So when it all implodes on Tuesday, you're surrounded. You're like,
this is the way of the world. Hey, someone's got to do it.
I like being in Colorado.
But no, it's been an okay week. I've been like many other people in trim jail. I think this is that time of year. Once again, I'm going to have to quote Miles Filippini. I will say it right for once. The only thing worse than trimming is not trimming. That's it, and it's been a long ride, but hey, look, the fruits of your labor that I can't share with you because you're too far away.
I can't comment on it right now because I don't have that jar in front of me.
I know you're too far away. You're too far away.
To Miami. Didn't take Mark.
And how about yourself?
It was good, man. It was an okay week. Got out, walked around. Everybody's healthy. I can't complain.
Hey, when life is based on getting up and walking around, and that's pretty much good enough. You've done exactly. Hey, Dave is following our fucking idea.
No, I don't want anybody to think just because we're not in circulation. We go out, we do stuff. It's we're doing our thing right now. It's I hope everybody's got some food stores and all that stuff, and everyone's comfortable and happy and healthy.
That's it. So and MTI, I know you're sad. You're not here. You realize we all survived. We made the trip.
I know, right?
Yep. God.
No, it was funny. No, it was funny. I was at the store buying my travel size toiletries now that we were getting on a plane or whatever, And and then you called me and you're like, you don't have to go this time or whatever, and then.
Yeah, I could feel it in your text also when because it was like a second thought text. I was like, you know what?
I had a concern.
I wanted you to make the decision, because if I made the decision for you, it would have been, and so anything went wrong, then I would have never heard the end of it, right? And Dave would have been so mad. I told you guys. I told you.
No, don't fucking make me that guy, man. What do you just.
Hey,
I'm pinching your head right now, man.
That's it. And what are your plans for Halloween tomorrow? What are you guys doing? Anything good?
Girls getting all dressed up. I don't know, no place to go, but they'll get dressed up, and we'll feed them lots of candy and try to watch some Hocus Pocus or some Halloween. I think my youngest wants to watch Poltergeist for the first time on Halloween. I'm like,
oh wow,
really not a Halloween.
You gotta have her sit really close to the TV. Make sure she's sitting really close to the TV when she does that, so she gets the whole vibe.
My daughter's name is Clarice, so we never really allowed her to watch that movie because we figured it could happen. She could.
Well, yeah, and if you get one of those you need one of those old-timey TVs, too. You can't have a new flat screen. It's got to be one of the deep ones, so she could theoretically get sucked into it, Well,
I wonder what's going to happen when the snow, when that screen comes up of snow. She'll be like, what the hell is that? I've never seen that on television before. fucking the kids these days, man. Yeah. They don't understand. Do you remember when Married with Children first came on Fox? And they used to make fun of Fox, and they used to go, Fox family viewing positions, and everybody would have to link arms to Bud holding an antenna full of tinfoil at the end to get the channel. It's like the kids these days don't understand that. They don't even know what rolling a window means. Rolling down a window.
So my costume, I had a little mini costume party that I was at last night with 10,000 people. But they were all wearing masks, so it was all good. 10,000 people with masks. No, there wasn't 10,000.
How many people were on the plane?
But it was quite funny because our costumes, which maybe I can send Mark something.
You weren't
needed
kidding?
An explanation. It needed an explanation because all the kids these days didn't know what we were talking about. So it was one of those like, oh my God, I can't believe I have to explain the costume to you guys. But let's see.
See, if I would have gone and been the Robert Downey Jr. character, they would have totally not known anything.
Exactly. Well, they would have really not known?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh no, but of course. Well, we already knew that. We knew that. Yeah. Hold on one sec. Let's see if I can find. Okay, and then Let's see. All right. So sending these to Mark. Let's see. Probably should have done this before, right?
Yeah, that's what good shows do. Normally they get prepared.
Well, once again, we do not want to be known as one of those shows that are organized and have their shit together, because that would be terrible.
Yeah, I don't want none of that.
Okay, so I just sent you 2 photos to your
email?
To your phone. You got it? No, to your phone. Should I go to your email? Should I go to email?
Should you go to email or phone? WhatsApp?
Okay, whatever.
Email.
Let's keep it complicated.
Email's fine.
Let's keep it complicated.
Email's good, but
I know what. I don't know. It was easier on the phone. It was easier on the phone. No?
I'm coming. Hold on. Just take me 2 seconds here.
Okay, hold on. And then let's see.
And then.
Okay, so.
Did we get that video, the full video from the.
The full video?
What's that?
What?
All right.
Yeah,
so
hold on. Let me see.
I got it up now. I got your.
Yeah, here we go. Okay, so I'm sending also. Oh, and I sent you the other one, the video that the gift that I made the other day too. So that's a winner. We can do that maybe as a closer. We can do that as a closer.
Okay.
There you go.
The Addams Family closer.
Yeah.
The Addams Family.
So you guys were what? You were.
Yeah, exactly. You guys were what? Okay, now look up Natural Born Killers and take a look at the photo and tell me what you think.
Oh wait, you send it to WhatsApp. I should look there.
Nope.
See, you got to listen to Joe Rogan and see how quick Jamie is. Jamie is so fast. He can just mumble something. That shit's already up there.
Budget is? He has a budget.
It's about half of ours. I know. It's about half of our budget. So
there. Okay.
Yes.
There's your fucking picture.
Yeah. Which one? Me?
No.
I can't see anything.
Picture of the Natural Born Killers.
Yes, leaning up against the car.
Yeah, whatever.
The famous shot of them leaning up against the car.
Yeah, good.
Natural Born Kermit's right there, bro. Because everyone knows that I'm either Ray Romano or Kermit the Frog. It's one of the two. They haven't quite figured it out yet. So it's that is the that's the angle I was working. And I was thinking of dressing up as Kermit for the show, but it's fucking hot as balls, that costume, especially in Miami. Let me tell you. Full body suits are no joke. I'd like to see Dave in a full body suit. Dave in a full body green suit would be that'd be my Christmas present to us all.
They changed the rating of our show to like NC-17, man. We wouldn't want that. Because I would look really bad in it, man. They'd be like, we can't expose children to that ever again.
Is there a bad rating? Is there a general bad rating like that, or is it just?
Well, we'll get a few thumbs down, man, and you know how I feel about those.
Oh yeah, you know what I also forgot to announce is that we have obviously we forgot to announce the Illuminar Giveaway at the end of the show. We don't want to fucking forget about that.
Yeah.
Our monthly giveaway, the last Friday of every month, we give away a lamp. IL3 was it IL3? Is that what we're giving away? What is it?
Yep.
Yep, IL3, which is their LED.
Yep.
It's their LED cloning light for making clones. So that's inevitably in everybody's program at some point, and it's a good way to start at the beginning and work your way up, right? So we have a giveaway at the end of the show, so stick around for that. We also have James Bean, Man on the Scene. This time he's really going to be on the scene, not just James Bean, man in the nowhere, because that's what happened last week. But he's going to follow up.
He's been on the chat room saying that
he's going to follow. Yeah.
Oh, he said he had breaking news and he was waiting to tell us. So he's paying attention to what's going on. No, right now.
Yeah.
Before when you were getting everything ready. So he's
even
out
better.
There.
Okay. So James Bean, Man on the Scene, we'll have him now. I'm sure James is listening, and I don't know. Original plan, I was thinking to have him on early, but then I thought, nah, you know what? We'll have James. We'll have him near the end, and we'll do the final out. We'll tally it out at the end. How's that?
Let's have coffee and a bowl or a dab with Justin and with Brent, and
that sounds like a plan right now
for James Bean.
That sounds like a plan. Let's give them a heads up, have them join us whenever they feel ready. I'll get dabs ready on this side. You get dabs ready on that side. Coffee's in my hand. I think we've got all the materials needed to make this happen. And let's make it happen.
Sweet.
That's what we do.
All right. They will be on shortly. Not shortly, but, not short, but in some time.
In stature?
Yeah. Excellent. Yeah, you remind me when Brent gets on, I need to, the hat, remember when he came on the show and he just put the hats down and we each grabbed one? I grabbed extra small. It won't even fit on my youngest kid.
Small.
Oh, so we need some larger ones. There he is.
Hello.
All right, well, let's check
Brent.
him for who he is. Make sure he's Brent and he has a dab rig and something apothecary. Oh, he's got the hat on and he's got the rig. What are we dabbing?
Could just be a custy. He could just be a custy.
We're dabbing some Appalachian Blackberry Ambrosia solventless jam.
Okay, first off,
Mouthful.
Mark has never brought that over.
What?
So he better say that he's never tried that before.
Unreleased.
Right.
Yeah. That's
Holy fuck. That we need to change the Dunn deal.
We need to get.
That's a lot of words right there, man. Say that again. Blackberry Ambrosia solventless.
It's Appalachian
jam.
Blackberry Ambrosia solventless jam, and essentially what it is, it's Pura Vida crossed with the Blackberry Banana Kush.
Oh, wow.
Man.
Nice.
I think Mark told me he's heading by Apothecary Denver tomorrow, so I wonder if that happens to be in stock.
It's just dropped. It's actually dropping tomorrow. So
look at the timing on that.
It's like we planned it.
Something. It's like we planned it. I got sour diesel ambrosia.
Ooh, that's a great one too.
Yeah, I'm putting it in my quacker.
I'm smoking something called Fabuloso over here. So
I love that Fabuloso.
there we go. Some terpy shit. It's very terpy. Like you can already just see it on the baller jars. You've got a nice serious layer of terps on the top there. So always nice.
The baller jars.
I got some honey banana batter and some mambo batter.
Man, that honey banana.
Yeah,
that's
dude.
My favorite.
Yeah, man.
So this must be a pretty good time of year for extraction artists as far as like people. The phone must be going off the hook with people calling you, thinking like, shit. Obviously in the commercial world is one thing, but in the private world too, it's like people are now harvesting and figuring out like, shit. Would you rather smoke all of this outdoor or all of this greenhouse weed, or would you rather turn it into concentrates? It's like it's that moment.
It is a very, very, very busy time of year. The phone doesn't stop ringing in both Oklahoma and Colorado. And we've been working with a lot of awesome farms and bringing in a lot of material. So it's been an awesome year so far, and things are just kind of getting rolling. Last week in Oklahoma, there was still, I can't even tell you how many plants in the ground, and they had that really weird freezing rain last week. And so once that hit, like my phone never stopped ringing. People were like, "Can you come out and take this fresh? Can you come and take this right in the field?"
Because it was already frozen.
Yeah, fresh frozen in the field. It's like what was the Jolly Green Giant thing, or the Green Giant? Fresh frozen on the right there at the spot. Just take it. You got it. It is like I'm so amazed with cannabis on its freezing temperature ability to bounce back. I've seen some crops completely iced over and icicles hanging off the plant, and then once it's another week of good weather, and all of a sudden those things are bounced back, and you're just like, are you kidding me right now? Because they seem so delicate when you work on them, especially indoors, when you're growing indoors, and you just think about like cold nights and how they get a little bit hurt.
Yeah, I was shocked. Honestly, we had that really early freeze here in Colorado, and we had early snow.
October 6th. It's already stitched into my mind already. Like, are you kidding me? I had to fly. I was here in Miami, and I had to fly back to harvest my vegetable garden, just my regular veggies, just because I was like, I am not losing my entire vegetable garden. And then even then, like lettuce survived. Some of the lettuce survived that. I couldn't believe it. I was like, really? Like, this is, plants are amazing creatures.
Resilient.
Right?
Yeah, they are. I was shocked to see how many gardens survived. I mean, October 6th, you saw there's like a foot of snow on the ground down there, and people were freaking out, and it was way too early. You could have just pulled early, but you wouldn't have got anything. And so people were really freaking out down there. And then I was just shocked to see how many gardens and how many farms survived that storm and had a really, really fruitful year this year.
Yeah, no, it's great. It's great because, there was a moment, it was like, literally I was thinking like, wow, we got kicked in the nuts once again, like from year to year, everything we seem to, we get close to the finish line and then all of a sudden we get hit with a big storm like that. It can really fucking damage people's productivity. But this year was more often than not, I heard people actually surviving it and or even some of them thriving in it because it pumped out more. It just seemed like the plants put out more on the survival sort of moment in time, where resin count just went off the chain, and some of the plants were just
maybe they
color
out.
Change. Good fades.
You have to stress it out on October 6th every year.
No, well, let's try not
with a little
to.
freeze gun.
Let's try not to.
It's doing okay. What's Oklahoma like these days?
Hey.
Oklahoma couldn't be better, honestly. I mean, it's as busy as any market.
Hey, Brent, have you heard of breadwinning genetics, right? Is that the name? Breadwinning Genetics. Have you heard of them?
I have not. Are they at Oklahoma?
Yeah, they're at Oklahoma also. It's they were here last night. I was talking to them. They also breed pit bulls too, so they bred my friend's pit bull, and so they went from breeding dogs to cannabis. So, there we go. We got a package right here. Booyah!
Nice.
Which part? Tulsa area or Tulsa? Yeah, I'll get you linked up. This is my friends from Apothecary. They do manufacturing. So yeah, I got them in.
They're the bar in extraction.
So yes,
you guys have really set the bar high. I'm so impressed with, I see it everywhere. I mean, everywhere. And the stuff you do with 14ers product is really the stuff of legend.
We love 14er and all the new exotic strains they're pumping out. I even see some DJC crosses coming down the line. I don't know if you've seen any of that.
Okay, don't make his head. Don't pump him up too much, please.
Oh, wait, no. What was that you said? You broke up there, Brent. I didn't hear what you said.
Yeah, I mean, back to Oklahoma, we're in about, when I first talked with you guys a few months back, we were just getting the ball rolling out there. Now we're in about 450 dispensaries statewide, and we hit the ground.
Come on, Mark. You need the cheering. You should have the cheer thing going. Damn.
It's been crazy out there, and we're just really pumping out some high quality product at a really high production level right now. And what it took 4 or 5 years to build in Colorado, we've essentially replicated in 3/4 of
one episode of the Adam Dunn Show. You came on the Adam Dunn Show, the phone rang, and great things happened.
Exactly. That's how it usually works.
Hold on a second. I don't know.
That's how it usually goes.
No, you have a process that truly is. It is. I'm sure it's what all the other extraction companies shoot for. Somebody walks in and tries to say, "Hey, I'd like you to carry my extraction." They say, "Well, is it as good as an apothecary?" It's that's the way it's going to be. So
the deal is there's a lot of really, really, really high quality extract companies, especially in Colorado. I consider Colorado, the most competitive concentrate market in the world. I mean, there's some really, really, really good hash in Colorado, and every day there's a new solventless company popping up who's putting out some really good product. There's a new hydrocarbon company putting it out. So it's tough. It's tough to stay consistent. It's tough to keep bringing the quality and staying. I say it's staying in the hype, if you will, staying relevant and putting out product that people want to continue to buy year after year.
So tell me what have you noticed as far as differences with the environment though? Because Colorado, the one thing about it is the reason it has such good hash, I believe, and is the fact that we're high altitude, dry. It's very easy to run your equipment. if you're working with vacuums, things like that, it's like, oh, it's actually to your advantage sometimes because you're actually the opposite. Sorry, the vacuum pumps, it was to your disadvantage, but the dryness is to your advantage. And then you come to a place like here in Florida, it's water, it's at sea level, so everything can run a little bit more smooth, more efficiently. But you're always fighting this humidity issue. So you have to do things totally different when you're in Oklahoma. Have you noticed major changes in your operating sort of procedures there?
That's a good point, Adam. And I don't see very many changes in the SOP, the operating procedures. Kind of, we have a pretty good SOP that kind of works in both of these environments. One thing that I wanted to comment on, and really why I think Colorado has, the greatest hash market in the world, or at least let's say on the legal side in terms of the competitive side. And really what it came down to was when the price of cannabis, of high quality cannabis, fell to a level that truly didn't make sense for these connoisseur growers, they started looking elsewhere. And what they started doing is started, putting out really high quality product, and they started looking at their margins, and they were saying, well, this still makes sense. It still makes sense to do this, where in Oklahoma, it's completely different. In Oklahoma, the market's completely different. People are still getting, $2,500 to $3,500 a pound for pretty mediocre quality product, in my personal opinion. Not that, I'd say some of the people are putting out really high quality product. It's absolute fire. But what that happens is we don't get an opportunity to kind of work with any of that material, right? If they're fetching that sort of price point, turning it into flour, there's no way to turn it into concentrate. And so it's completely different in Colorado, where we're getting, people are chopping down whole gardens. We're chopping down we have 6 cultivation facilities, and every single bit goes to fresh frozen whole plant.
It's definitely a whole different world, because making hash back in the day was working with whatever was left over, or your larvae buds, never your prime buds, because you could always get the same deal. It was one less step, you know what I mean? And you got paid money in your pocket, and you could take the rest and turn that into something on the side, right? But if
go a step further. Like before, when people used to give that shit away, these things was trash. I seriously, that's when I made my first ashes, when they were throwing it away, and they were like, wait a minute, you'll take this? I'm like, fuck yeah, I will. That was I want to say 1993, 94, 95, before anybody started to really realize that, holy shit, there's something here. I mean, I get the sugariest of sugar leaf, and fuck.
It's funny, we still run into a little bit of that in Oklahoma. We'll go out and tour these farms, and they're talking about the stuff that they're throwing away, and like, I'm still seeing this trim and whatnot, and I'm like, oh my, don't throw this away, just give it to me. And so I still see that in kind of this newer market a little bit, but they're catching up quickly.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy to imagine that when you're looking at a garden, that's that every single bit of it, especially back in the day in Colorado, you just had to get used to that, because you're like, it's actually not legal to take anything out of here in flower form. It has to go as a concentrate. So You pretty much knew that it was all going, and there'd be times. It also changes the way you grow too. Like, you don't mind growing them 8 foot tall on a bed, stretching to the ceiling, with as long as there's as much surface area as possible. And, you kind of go against your original idea of keeping them all tight and short and compact and trying to grow them, the most tight buds possible. It's like, it's not even necessary. It's actually disadvantageous if you actually have to break up the buds to get to the buds, to get to the trikes. It's easier just to have looser grown, maybe a little higher temperature in your room. Don't have to worry, less air conditioning means a lower bill. Everything has, and at that, I guess it's like a finite line when you're making concentrates, because you have to look at the work that goes in, the people, the supplies, just sometimes like stupid things. Like, there's times when I'm making bubble hash, and I'm like, I have wasted so many paper towels right now and so much alcohol just cleaning the fucking place in between each run, and then soaking up whatever, and then do it. And you're like, this is very unenvironmentally friendly right now. I feel like I'm wasting a lot of materials to make And then if it's a shitty run, it's the same amount of material to do a shitty run as a good run, depending on what you got. So sometimes it's worth it, right? You're like, hey, that's worth a roll of toilet paper or worth a roll of towels. Other times you're like, this is actually hardly worth the roll of towels that I've actually done. You know, it just depends on the material. And sometimes you'll get something from somebody and you'll be like looking at it like, this is really not going to make anything, you know, and they're like, do it. And then you do it and you're like balancing it at the end, like, yeah, maybe worth it, but not really, especially if you took your work, like your 10 hours it took you to make it into account, you know?
Right. It can be a lot of work for a very little product.
Yeah. Well, that's just the way it is always too. It's the same with selecting genetics. Like at the end of every crop, you're like, fuck, I should have grown just that, because that one plant I grew outperformed all these other 48 that I tried of these, you know, like, and if at the end of the day, if you concentrate on one, you'll achieve a higher yield.
That's like why the hash revolution, you know, or the evolution into hash production is going to have a genetics component where the genetics are specifically bred for the climate or how you grow, so that you can maximize hash production. You know,
yeah.
It's like why you have certain baking potatoes. It's just another, you know, genetics within the genome that is going to be so. I can't wait to see what 3-4 years is going to happen after you because I'm sure they're taking input from you. You know, you're saying to them, this strain was a producer, this strain wasn't, this strain was easy to extract, try this one, and eventually we're going to have like the super hash.
Yeah, we see it a lot in bubble hash and in solventless, right? A lot of people are now breeding for that trike head that you're truly looking for, that dumps and washes well for bubble hash. And so, like, you know, breeders like Bloom Seed Co., you know, Harry Palms and whatnot, they're truly like breeding for bubble hash and breeding for solventless and creating kind of a whole new market there that I feel like is really popular these days.
Right. I got to bring this in. Look Justin is on the phone with us too from OZO Coffee. We've been trying to get him on since literally 3 weeks before all this Michigas began in March. So it's been a long time coming. See, now I can't get it to show. I got Mocha Java. Do you drink coffee, Brent?
I love coffee.
You should write this down.
Look at you in your transitions.
OZOcoffee.com.
Oh my God, you nailed it. Is Ozo
write
coming
that
on?
Down.
Is he coming on, Mr. Hartman, or what?
There he is.
He's on?
He's on.
Oh, wow. Well, he's not coming on video. Doesn't want to see us. He doesn't want.
No, he is on video. You can't. I don't know why you can't see him.
Oh, maybe
I see him.
Hold on. Let me put it on. There we go.
Look at that.
There we go.
I got this nice Colorado landscape behind me.
What a view. Holy moly.
Figured I better be outside for a bit today.
Good choice of backdrop. Absolutely good choice of backdrop. Well, thank you for coming on.
Yours is pretty cool too, Dave.
Yeah, well, I have to have that. There's a certain legal paperwork I sign that say I always have to have a smoky background. Talk to my agent. It's not.
Wow! Look at him with his beautiful view there. I like your green screen choice. It's very nice.
Yep.
Mountain scene with the flashlight behind you to make it look like you're there. It's good.
Exactly. Down there, some real Colorado scenery.
Hey, well, thanks for joining us. And we're all enjoying your coffee very much. Thanks for it's the one thing we can thank Dave for so far on the show. You're actually his saving grace, because without you, he may have not even made it. We may have lost him as a co-host without you. So, but the coffee is the gel that keeps us all together. And
I guess thank you, Justin.
That's kept me popular with people as well. You know, as long as you can be the coffee guy, you can.
Yeah.
You know.
You're like the weed guy. You're kind of like the weed guy. Like, everybody appreciates the coffee guy just about as much as they appreciate the weed man. You know, he comes through, everybody's happy again.
Yep.
It's the same. Like, when you run out of coffee is a very similar feeling to when you're getting low on bud, right? You get that like, oh my God, I have to get it. But it's even worse because with coffee, you literally have to leave the house in the snowstorm. If you can't get it delivered or you can't get it to your place, you know, it's like you will do it. You know, it's instinctual. How long have you been in the coffee game?
You know, it's been a bit now. I was trying to think about that. You know, I kind of found coffee through a working in working through jobs in college, and since then I've kind of come in and out of it a little bit, but mostly been in coffee since about 95, which is hard to believe.
Holy moly, that's longer than Mark's been alive. I think 95. Absolutely.
And then, and so you guys are sourcing all your coffee. Who's doing like, do you have actual people on, like, man on the street kind of thing, getting out there looking for your coffee, or do you do it yourself? Or
we have a team. Yeah, we have a we'll call it BC. We were traveling, pretty much finding all of our coffees. I'd say 90% of them we've been to the farms. So sometimes that entails maybe you don't have an exact source yet, but you head on down to Honduras and go visit several different relatives.
It's funny because I literally have a friend who's here on the property, and his dad, I think it was his grandfather, is a coffee farmer from Honduras. And I was like, wait a minute. While I was sitting here, I was like, maybe I need to get him on the show, make some links, get some, help you guys out. We'll do some circle promotion here,
Yeah, well, we have some great relationships in Honduras. That's actually our first relationship coffee, and we buy from two brothers, brother-in-laws. Now we're on to the second generation. So we used to buy from Omar Rodriguez Sr., and now we're buying from Omar Rodriguez Jr., and Omar's Jr.'s uncle is Pedro Romero, and we buy from Pedro Romero. So
I'm Facebook friends with him.
That's literally like it's like somebody from another country going, I go to America and I buy from John Smith and John Smith Jr. You're like, damn, he's narrowed it down to the most common name probably out there, So
yeah. We have Pedro.
The Rodriguez's.
Well, to delve into y'all's, world of genetics and such, these three farmers are pretty much growing three pretty primary plant species, I guess. I don't know what the exact terminology would be, but they're growing Catuai, Catura, and Red Bourbon are the three varieties that they're growing mostly on their farms.
Mm-hmm. And those are all local. Those have been grown there traditionally, or they were brought there more recently. Do you know, genetics wise?
Those are pretty traditional.
Yeah.
The most traditional being the Red Bourbon, and that's like way down in the roots of the lineage of the Arabica species. And
then. How long? When did you start? Because you said that was the first place you started was in Honduras. What year was that?
We've been buying from them since 2009.
Okay.
So coming up on, past that decade mark, and that's pretty much when we started getting, getting the juniors crop, which was cool. His son is actually Omar Jr. is actually the president of the co-op, and has been really heavily involved in the business side of things for the last, probably decade now.
Sit in the seat for a sec.
Very nice.
Look at
Very nice. Where else did you go after that?
I mean, multi-generational Honduran coffee guy right here. Boom, That was easy.
How's it going, guys?
We're talking Honduran coffee, so I thought maybe you want to join the conversation.
That's my area of expertise right there.
So this is my friend Alex, and so Alex was his grandfather, right? Who started? Or
my grandfather's the one who started in Etiquette, Honduras.
So our friend here on the bottom right is from OZO Coffee in Colorado, and so he was explaining how the first place he sourced was in Honduras. So I thought,
nice.
Now we're getting crossover. So
nice.
We're gonna come here and cut the deals.
That's
on
right.
the show. Forget that guy.
No middleman.
So, one of the things that is concerning in the coffee world, and I noticed it when I was in Puerto Rico and I was on a coffee farm, was the excessive use of glyphosate and pesticides, because coffee being such a valuable crop, everybody seems to think, it's better to hit it with a bunch of glyphosate and get something, and these guys had trucks that were just rusted heaps with giant tanks on the back. That's all they did all day long was drive around the farm. So kind of bummed me out because I was on this farm that I knew I really didn't want to consume any of the coffee coming off that farm. Do you guys check for that at all? Or is there kind of like anybody who does that? Or is it kind of rampant as I think it is?
You know, I think a lot of our farms that we're buying from are not, that's not really a possibility. They're, you know, like in Honduras, up in Copan, it's, I mean, you're not driving trucks down through the farm.
Not those steep hills, no.
And so, I mean, anything you do,
thanks to the geography, we don't have, there's not a possibility for that.
That's a good thing, though.
By hand, if you were. So, you know, like when I was in Costa Rica, the first time I went to Costa Rica, I was pretty turned off by some of the farming practices. And just seeing the use of sodium nitrates and, you know, these white powdery fertilizers that they're applying. And I'm like, there's got to be better ways than this. And, you know, I've always been intrigued by the farming element of coffee. And, you know, I love growing my own food when I can. And, you know, my grandfather was sort of a hobbyist farmer, so I've always been around farming, and that's always been intriguing to me, which is one of the things that really brought me to coffee, as well as the cannabis industry.
Well, you're a pretty accomplished grower yourself. I've seen some of the photos of some of the plants you've grown that you shared with me.
Well, you know, I was going to say for the crossover of it all, though, like the reason I'm worried about pesticides more than anything is that coffee is a concentrate, just like hash is a concentrate. And when you take hash and you have, you know, that the cannabis that was grown was used with pesticides, you know, you're concentrating those pesticides, you know, it doesn't disappear. Just the word concentration definitely makes you understand that it's more intense if you're doing that. In coffee, it's like we drink it every day, right? Sometimes multiple times. Sometimes some people drink it all day. But if you know that there's like going to be residual, like if that was where you're getting your glyphosate intake from, even though you're like everything else you do is as healthy as possible, but you drink coffee. So like I have a harder time now because I'm now all of a sudden I have to be extra picky with organic coffee. Do you guys have any kind of like organic line within your stuff or specifically?
You know, a good percentage of our coffee, like upwards of 80, 90%, depending on the season, the coffees we're bringing in are certified organic. So, you know, rest assured, that's a great certification to have on there. And not only is it certified by the organic certifications, with us going to the farm on a personal level, we can really see what's happening there. And, you know, it's cool. I mean, I can talk for hours about the work they're doing to create their own fertilizers from natural composting. I mean, they're doing awesome things like, if you can imagine a huge bladder that would be filled with the water used to process the coffee. They're trapping the methane release out of the water, using that to fuel not only like cooking fires, but furnaces that help with the coffee processing. Then they'll filter that water, and before they reintroduce it back to the land, and then use all the goodies that they filtered out of that as part of their composting materials. It's cool to see how many different initiatives they have for just like repurposing things for the sake of refertilization. That's just one example of
You know, I have to say,
this is exactly what we do. We use the beans, the conchas, and we fertilize. We use that as the organic material for the coffee.
It's nice when you can do a thing circular like that and just kind of use every bit that your all the waste products, things like that. It's always whenever you can figure out a way to use your waste stream to reintroduce it into your production, it's like a win-win every time.
Well, and another, like on that point, another fun thing they'll do is they tend to not like the coffee trees to get too old. It's better if they're more in that like 5 to even 20-year-old kind of range. there's finding that there's more susceptible to disease when they get older.
Yeah.
And so if you can imagine this massive row of coffee along the mountain here, this row is like, say, year 20. They're going to pull that whole row of trees out, replant with 5-year-old youngsters out of the nursery. Depending on if they wanted any genetic diversity, they could start bringing in different styles of plants at that point. But then all of the plants that were removed, they'll then use that wood for that furnace that I was talking about. They do use the furnace in the processing to dry the coffee out and get it to the proper humidity. And so they'll use that, and they'll also use the it's like a husk that's around the seed. It's called parchment. They'll also use that parchment to fuel the furnace fire and that methane that we were talking about from the bladder.
Damn.
The whole furnace is fueled by pretty much coffee waste.
That's amazing. That's cogen, right?
And
it's absolute cogen.
And then to understand they're into this. I mean, this is like their jam. This is, as you guys are with your industry, and you want to know the details of everything. I mean, these guys are able to pull air from this furnace and then keep it at exactly 70 degrees when it's coming across the coffee beans. So they're not just pumping in 150 degree temperature. They know that they want to do it at a slow rate. They're getting the beans.
Always the best. Slow and low. Slow and low seems to be the best in all of our industries when it comes to making rosin, when it comes to making hash in general. You don't want to be too aggressive. You want to be gentle. As you do that, the things just fall into place and do everything goes right. You know what I mean? Whereas if you rush it and push it, overstuff your laundry, it's the same thing. You know, everything doesn't really work out in the long run. You know what I mean? It's always best to keep it slow and low, I think.
We say in the cannabis industry, though, even after you harvest the plant, there's still like 50, 60 ways to fuck it up, you know? And I have to say, you know, you get the bean, right? Totally green and roasted in Boulder. So that's how you control the process. I have to say, I walked in, I think it was 2010 on Arapahoe. And it was one of those moments, I think I have to equate it to someone who, let's say you grew up in a part of New York City and really didn't have access to really good weed in the early 80s. And then all of a sudden you have a source for like the best sour diesels that are out there at the time. That's what OZO was like for me in 2010. I don't think I bought another pound of coffee at Costco, because that's where I was getting my coffee. You know, I'd buy I think it was a 50-pound bag at Costco that you would have to buy. And it was never again. I mean, never again. You ruined me, Justin. It's I thank you.
Yeah, it's like you brought the kind weed and ruined all the people, and they were like, "Wait, what am I smoking anymore?"
Yeah, I mean, seriously, it's not.
I've been told that before. Like, you ruined me for forever. Coffee.
It's a good type of ruined, but it really is something. So Brent said he drinks coffee. You better get yourself several pounds of OZO coffee, because Dunn deal sponsors and stuff like that should go hand in hand. You know. Get everything going, and maybe there'll be some connection that'll happen. Another Honduras farmer. Yeah,
Dave likes to hype up your. It's a 1959 roaster. Are we saying it correctly when we say it, or is he just making this up out of his ass?
It's in that zone. We don't know the exact year. It's
either 1959 or 1972. It's one of the two.
55 and 1959.
Okay.
So I went with the higher year.
The factory that had all the data, ironically being a coffee roasting factory, burned down.
Got roasted.
This was pre-digitizing of the information, so all the history of that went by the wayside. But she's a beauty, cast iron drum, just purrs like it's awesome.
Yeah. Well, those definitely, when you think about cars from that time period and stuff, it's like that. You know, you got something that's solid. You know, that's for sure. It's like back when things were made proper, nothing was, there's not like,
around,
we use some cheap bearings on the inside of this thing, because no, everything is like, crafted properly.
That some of the first plastic, kind of an interesting side tangent, but some of the first plastics on those early telephones, like
the bakelite,
that is used. It's like the first use of that on a machine like this, and it's the fail safe for the roaster. So if things start jamming up, that thing will break. That's kind of like your safety.
Crash helmet, like your crumple zone. That's your crumple zone of the roaster. Basically.
We had to find somebody who knew how to make something similar to that, because we've used it as a safe.
So that would probably be a vegetable. That would probably be a vegetable based plastic too, right? If it's original, that is like pre oil sort of based plastics, because we were still using mostly vegetable, I would think. I don't know. Maybe it's on the cross. It depends. I guess it depends if it's 55 or 59, because it was right around that time period.
Or maybe it's a blend of the two. But yeah, it's a
57.
It's a beautiful roaster. I mean, when you think of cars of that area, you think of those the cool, stainless bumpers and lots of silver, black, and that's what ours looks like. It kind of looks like a souped up locomotive. That's sick.
Yeah, I love it. And again, because you can, I guess roasting is very similar to curing cannabis, where it's like you can, if you understand it, you can nail it every time, and if you don't, you can fuck it up every time, because it's really, really important, those little tiny minor differences. And like recently, like I was been trimming, and I had stuff that got really too dry, even though I tried to maintain it, and had other stuff that was way too wet. And I was just like combining them into the same thing, and then coming back the next day and separating them out and being like, actually nailed it. You know what I mean? It was just like perfect, because that's what it takes. It just takes, getting the feel of your product and understanding and your environment, which is controllable, but yet somehow, even if you think you're dialing it in perfectly, it only, it depends on where your stuff is set up. And so how is it roasting coffee at high altitude? Is that different than anywhere else, or does that have any kind of its own disadvantages or advantages?
We've done work on both of our roasters to make them perform the way we need to at elevation. They burn totally different. We have a smaller roaster that's a 12-kilo roaster that we use to, kind of piece the volumes together. And we called that company and told them that the flame was going out when we turned the throttle down to 2. And they said, well, don't turn it down below 2. The dial says one.
Yeah.
I want to use 1.5. I want to use a half, Yeah. So they told us we couldn't do that. So we redesigned our roaster, and we happened to have some friends that, a friend who is he's a engineer for, he's worked with NASA and various other space, aircraft projects. But he helped us redesign our roaster so we have a different air intake for it, and put some.
You have a NASA quality roaster? Is that what you're saying? NASA?
Yeah.
Your roaster is going to Mars?
It could.
Oh my God, breaking news. You heard it right here. Mark, come on, get the nugget going. The roaster's going to Mars,
and my family,
man.
We don't do that much roasting. We just grow. Yeah.
That's great.
Well, there you go. We got to cut out Rodriguez out of the picture. It's Omar. We got to cut out Omar. Was it Omar we said, or what was the name?
We need one of those machines and learn. My family doesn't. They just grow the coffee. We don't roast too much.
Yeah, they don't roast too much down there.
Just during the mornings with a fire and a pan.
You're starting to see more roasters popping up in the growing regions.
Yeah.
Omar just installed a roaster similar to our 12-kilo Dietrich in Capucas, and they are doing a roasting training program there. But this just started like 2 years ago. And then my buddy down in El Salvador, Emilio Lopez, he sells all his like mid-grade stuff, low-grade stuff to McDonald's in El Salvador.
Oh,
sheesh.
and then sends us the kind up to us. Check out the orange bourbon that we have right now. It's a one variety. It's instead of the fruit ripening in red, it ripens in this bright orange color. It's so this is a single lot all orange bourbon.
Okay.
Natural or dry process. So it's all here on the patio in fruit for about, I think, 10 to 14 days. Then he takes the fruit off of it and lets it patio dry for the rest of the time. We bought all of that. He only had 400.
Patio dry sounds like my hash that I used to call pocket press, because I'd come home and be like, yeah, it's pocket press. Here you go. Oh, wow, it's pretty good. It's like, yep, that's what you do. You just throw it in your pocket and come home and it's pressed.
I think we need to get some type of exchange of coffee and ambrosia between the two of you guys, so you can create some type of pairing. So like I can wake up in the morning and I know that Mocha Java goes great with their sour diesel ambrosia, or the huckleberry pie at night. You want to try that with the dark chocolate, this dark bean or whatever it is. But I think there's going to, if you really run the tape forward, when people aren't so fucking stuck up about cannabis, there's going to be cannabis coffee bars. I just see them going. It's like Reese's peanut butter cups, man.
Yeah, they go hand in hand. There's no doubt about it. Well, I would say,
don't they have those in Amsterdam already? What's that?
I would say if you want to go,
he's like, do they have those things in Amsterdam?
I just never been there, man.
The coffee shops. I'm like, yeah, they do. They have that. They've actually figured out that coffee and weed work really good together. Well, one of the things when I was in Amsterdam, it was funny too, because I knew that the cannabis that we were growing was going to be drank with coffee all the time. Part of my criteria was that it has to taste good when you're smoking it, because there was some weed that tastes really bad when you drink coffee. Like it was weird. Like it had a weird chemical, it would make everything taste metallic or something like that. And there was only certain strains that had it. And there was other strains that like you'd drink a coffee and it tasted creamy and extra good. And there was others where all of a sudden it reacted with something inside the coffee. And so I think it's a match that's always work. When it works well, it's like red wine kind of, and weed is very similar too. Like if you have that perfect bottle of wine and that perfect joint at the same time, you get into this headspace where you're like, wow, if I could bottle this particular perfect thing, and then but it's very hard to hit, because you got to have first the good wine and the good cannabis, and you can't be too sleepy from the weed or the wine. You know what I mean?
Right.
You can actually start a training course for cannabis coffee sommeliers.
Exactly.
And get going. What can I serve you, sir? Well, you would definitely like this blend. Maybe with this, why the hell not? Come on.
These are perfect ideas.
Someday it's not going to be as taboo, right? You'll have a coffee bar and a canna bar or a dab bar. I can see them not having side. I'll give them that, but dabbing, with good ventilation, I don't see that being something they can't. They shouldn't stop from happening.
No, that's something we'll see in the future, I'm sure.
So,
no, go ahead.
So how's our ultimate customer been for you guys? Have you noticed? Are people talking about our friend there, or just constantly ordering?
How are we doing? I mean, are you seeing some Dunn deals coming through? We know we hear from
making waves
on our chat gang.
We made some waves like last 2 weeks for sure.
Good. Yeah, we feel like people are starting to follow Rosin Dog's lead. So Rosin Dog is one of our best lists, our number one chat crew, as far as like when we say something, he actually does it, whereas everyone else is like, well, Rosin Dog will do it, don't worry about it. Rosin Dog will do it. But I've been super impressed. Every time he posts a picture, I'm like, damn, he really went all out. So he's like proper coffee aficionado now.
Hold on a sec, Adam. Let me do my thing for a second. Hey, Brent, you have 3 dispensaries, right?
Yes.
And all those employees in the extraction lab working hard for you, and you always want them at tip-top performance. So do you provide them with coffee? Is there a coffee pot at work? And if so, what do we need to do to have OZO in that pot?
We need to get OZO. Yeah, we need to get OZO in that pot immediately.
Another golf clap. Come on, Mark.
So it's a bit too late.
Come on, Mark.
It's
like Oklahoma happening.
Yeah.
Love to help you out with that, you know?
Just a second.
Yeah, we'll get in touch.
All right, guys.
Hey, nice.
So I
meeting you,
need to get Blue on here in a second, but I want to thank you guys for coming through. I want to come down and shit. I think Dave, you need to go down to OZO, give us a tour, show us this machine. Now we're all excited because I want to know what's up with this.
If you say what's going to happen, then somebody will get there and take a picture of me in my mask, and you're going to be giving seeds away like fucking clockwork.
That's fine. I don't mind. I don't mind.
Yeah. You know, I don't want people following me anymore. It's been happening a lot lately.
And I feel like I think you just did a great service to Brett's staff by getting them proper coffee, because that will improve production by at
100%.
Mark, drop that tomorrow when you go pick up.
I hope they're not working that bad, that one cup of coffee has actually given them 100%. You want it to be a slight percentage increase, maybe. But no, it's awesome.
I think they go for 30%, you know?
30%. That's right.
A good number.
Yeah. No, it's good. It's always good.
Try some. I have to try it.
And then I'll link you guys up. Maybe next time you're in Honduras, you go see what's going on with his family out there. You can have them sell it to Omar. Everyone gets paid. You know, that's how it works, right?
Through the months of December and April.
What state are you in?
Comayagua.
Is that
it's a center. It's right smack dab in the middle between San Pedro Sula and Tegucigalpa. You have Comayagua, and from Copán it's to the east. So you just keep on going right to the center of Honduras. Those high mountains.
We also buy from Beneficio San Vicente in Honduras. It's in where is it? I haven't been to that farm, but it sounds like it's closer to up north and east.
Yeah, the Department of Comayagua, most likely that's where they grow a lot of coffee out there, in other regions. But I haven't heard San Vicente.
Well,
maybe it's in the northeast section. That's right.
We'll definitely get you guys connected with each other.
Yeah, we'll
be doing business with each other.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
We have two awesome coffees right now from Honduras.
I gotta try them. Love.
The Illuminar Junior is gonna have like some nice citrusy notes. So try that with anything that you're partaking of that has any kind of orangey, clementine, tangerine flavors. And the Pedro is nice and spicy. It's got some kind of like cinnamon, clove kind of spices going on with some deep dark chocolate.
Nice.
That might go good with more of your, maybe more of your hazy kind of varieties, or that's a little danker.
Man, that sounds good to sip on.
Look at that.
Delicious. So, excuse me, guys. I have to.
Everybody out there listening, you go to ozocoffee.com, and when you place your order, you enter Dunn Deal at checkout, and you'll get 20% off your first order. So just make sure you do that. Buy a lot of coffee, and Brent, I'll connect you. You guys know that there's 3 Apothecary Extracts: Denver, Pueblo, Colorado Springs. Mention the Dunn Deal. You get a gram of ambrosia and an infused joint for $25. So you can't beat that. That's a great Dunn Deal. You got to mention the Dunn Deal. Thank you guys for coming on, Justin and Brent.
Thank you guys.
We know your time is valuable.
Appreciate you.
Really appreciate it.
Take care.
Hey, man, thanks.
Thank you. See you, Adam.
Talk to you soon. Take care, my friend.
Take care.
So, welcome to the incredible studio here.
Hey, this is definitely an incredible studio.
Yeah,
top quality sound.
I know, we managed to pull it together. This is my little ghetto setup, as you can tell here, with the flipped out. It's almost like we used to do when people used to sing use them for mics, right?
Right, but it's kind of state of the art.
It is. That's what I tried to tell those guys. I was like, I think I'm going to patent this idea. This is great. We can listen, but we don't have to get overwhelmed. I mean, the problem is I don't have a splitter for my headphones, but it's okay. So, welcome, Blue. What should I call you?
Blue Da Vinci, but all the gas out here and I smell terps.
Nice to meet you, Blue Da Vinci. Dave over here.
Hey, you guys too.
So
man.
I got my co-host Dave, and I got my tech guy down there, Mark. So Originally, I had Mark coming, and we were going to set up the studio and stuff, but then I wasn't sure if it was all going to go down or what was going to happen. And then
I'm pulling up. I'm pulling up.
Yeah. So
I'm living in a bubble.
In the near future, we're going to have this will be a lot more plug and play. But we were hanging out last night. I was dressed up like Kermit the Frog, so it wasn't
Killer Kermit though.
I wasn't really not sure if I was being taken too seriously, so I thought, well, maybe I'll get him on the show. You can take me a little more seriously. But this show is cannabis centric, and with hip hop, there's always cannabis. There's always a cannabis theme running through that from day one, and that's inevitably been the backbone, I think, of the whole thing when it comes to like just what brings people together. It's like weed brings people together, just like music brings people together. Let's talk a little bit, because I think with the people that listen to the show, whenever I bring in music, it takes a while to open up because there's such a different crowd. Some people are into it. Some people are just growers and they love just growing weed. But I could tell last night hanging out with you for only like a short time, but you love terps. So I figured that out within a second, because I had some GMO that I was smoking. I think this is a different flavor I brought for you right now. But we were smoking some GMO, and I could see the gears and turning, because it was like
I was questioning you like crazy, right? I was like, hey, put up.
I was like, you came to the right place if you have a lot of questions, that's for sure. But the thing is, terps are what we've all realized within the industry, or kind of the driving force behind the cannabis. Like, the THC is THC, CBD is CBD. It's everything else that's the interesting part of it.
Yeah, that's what makes you buy what you buy.
Yeah, it also accentuates, because you can have like a low THC thing, but it can get you really, really high because of the other constituents that are within it. Right. What's your favorite thing? You're more of a blunt guy, or you're more of a...
Well, at this point, I'm more of a blunt guy because it's more accessible for me. Now, as far as blunts are concerned,
did you roll that thing I gave you earlier? Or?
Listen, that's why I'm sitting here like this, right? I know my head is like rolling back.
You're like, oh, did he ask me to be on the show now?
What do you have there?
Hey, guys.
What is that?
I don't know, guys, but whatever it was great.
With sage and sour?
Some triangle. I gave him a bud of triangle.
Have you ever stole a bud from yourself? That's how you know the shit is good. Like, I rolled it, and then, it's like one bud left that doesn't fit in the blunt. I looked around, and I just put it in the bag. Like, I stole it from myself. But this is it. This.
CBX?
This.
Orange. This
the
flavor?
Cell phone?
No.
It's a cell.
Show the guys.
CBX L'Orange.
L'Orange. I like the name.
Okay, so whatever it is, I've decided that this is something that I could smoke until the end of time. You know how you smoke and then sometimes you get tired of the flavor and it's like, oh, fuck, I want something new. This right here, it showed me that no matter when, where, or why, when I consume this, I'm satisfied, period, no matter what you have.
So it seems that he's a limonene guy, basically. And so limonene is the terp that you are targeting, right? So that's what's funny is it's like, I'm sure there's a combination between limonene and maybe some terpenoline. And terpenoline, let me show you, would be that, which is so that's like that combined with maybe an orange with more of a lime or more of a lemon would be your thing.
We're going to freeze frame on that smile.
And that's a Kushage strain. And so
what?
It's called Kushage. So it's Kush times sage. Sage is a sativa afghanica genetic equilibrium is the acronym. And what it means is it's a balanced sativa indica.
So basically you guys are like the Albert Einsteins of the genetically induced plant.
Well,
Albert Einstein.
It really comes down to
don't say that to him. He won't come home.
Well, it's like we were talking about being sommeliers before for coffees and for cannabis, because it's kind of like you just start to hit these notes. And the key is that's my problem with blunts from a technical point of view, is that it mutes the flavor for me too much. Like, good weed will power through the blunt flavor and taste really good. and bad weed won't, and it just won't make it through that thing. So you taste more blunt than weed, and then you're but people don't care because they're like more like onto the next one, onto the next one, onto the next one.
You know what I learned? I learned that I can't smoke a blunt wrap anymore, like a Swisher or something like that.
Oh, well, you should watch the show because we just found out that Swishers
are disgusting.
Have 700 times the amount of pesticides or something that would even be like of any other one on the market because they're just saturated.
Even like backwoods, right? Mm-hmm. Everybody loves backwoods. But see, I smoke more of a natural leaf, like a Grabba leaf, okay? So it's this big natural leaf. Mm-hmm. And then I smoke ones that are kind of thin, and then the marijuana to paper ratio is what makes all the difference to me. So it's basically like, okay, this doesn't even fit in here. Just barely fold it over and hurry up and light it before it can unravel. Mm-hmm. And then I could taste everything perfect, like almost like it's a paper or something like that, right? But then when other people roll it, it's like in a backwood or some of these other things that they roll them in. It's like, yo, who did you get this from? The garbage man?
Yeah.
That's the blue coefficient.
I think it's also, and I think we were talking about it last night, it's the quantity that people smoke too, because if you smoke a really, really big joint of good weed, I wouldn't say it's a waste of weed because as long as you can get it all in, but if you see it and sometimes half the thing is left and people don't play it because it almost, when it's really good, it almost is too, like it doesn't want to burn anymore because there's all resin inside of it.
Right.
It gums up, it becomes a pain in the ass where it's just like, this, and it's like the opposite problem. It's like, shit, you're throwing away the good weed now because it's so good. It's putting itself out, you know what I mean? Whereas
speak for yourself. I don't
that'll burn all day long because there's no oil
all the way down.
There's no oil left. So you want the right ratio of oily weed to make it work. And I think, I smoke regular. I just smoke raw papers. That's my thing. But a lot of my friends, they smoke blunts, and I just feel like it kind of does. It makes it hard for people to notice the difference between the nuances, and those are the terps. That's the nuances are the terps, and if you can't recognize that, it has to be of either this or this to notice the difference. Whereas there's a whole range in between. So
I'm learning. I'm in 101 right now.
Hey, it's all good.
I love it.
It's all good. Reggie, fucking Redman was in. I was at the Oaksterdam in like 2009, and I walked in there to see my friends who run the place, and he was in there with he had his glasses on and his notebook, and he was taking notes, and I was like, "You're in school?" He's like, "Fuck yeah. Weeds, if it's weed school, of course I'm going to do it." And it was pretty funny. Yeah. We went outside, we smoked a joint in the parking lot, and I was like, and he just looked so studious. It was so hilarious because he was like, it was just
he was trying to learn.
Oh, he was trying to learn. He had his notes, and he was really into it. And I asked Sky when she was on the show who runs it, and she was like, oh yeah, he was like taking it so seriously, like more than all the other students, which is awesome to see. And that's one of the things in the rap game that I'm kind of like, now there's this crossover between cannabis and rap where it's like it never was, because before it was like you were stepping out on a limb
because it was so illegal.
Yeah, and now it's
nobody wanted to really be connected to it because it was still considered a drug.
It's so easy to catch you. You smell.
Oh, it's the easiest one, of course. The easiest one and the most like.
It's the most common. It's the most common.
You smoke a joint, you test positive for 3 years, I think, right? That's what they used to say to try to scare everybody.
Right. As much as I smoke, like
it's all the time. It's never not in your system.
That's right. I don't know when it'll be out of my system.
They'll find your mummified remains and they'll be like, I don't know what was going on back in 2020.
It's going to be some resin somewhere in there, like when they scrape you out of the earth.
They do the nanogram test, when they pull you over and they start to, want to do it. And when you start even just hearing the word nanogram, you're like, I failed. I failed already. I'm sure
what is a nanogram?
I'm sure I have 8 gram. Well, when they test your blood, they go by nanograms. So it's how many like microscopic amounts are within your blood, and they accumulate a certain amount. Like what was the threshold in Colorado? It was really small. 5 nanograms. And so basically a guy from
if you stood in an elevator next to someone smoking
in Colorado, he went to the place, didn't smoke for 24 hours, went to the place, tested, and he was over. Because he's like, dude, I smoke every day. I'm the weed guy he's the guy that tests all the weed for the show, for the magazine. So he was like, let me go just see what these tests, how they really, so it's like, Went in, failed, and basically was like, so I haven't smoked, and I've slept, and I had breakfast, and I came here, and I still failed. So how can I? What do I do? I can't drive now. You're trying to tell me I can't drive, and so that makes them. They have to reevaluate that into a more realistic number,
right?
Because if you're,
I smoked last week, and I haven't been able to get to work all week.
Exactly.
Like, are you serious?
You know, and I feel
what
like
do they say? What's the joke? The joke
right.
is right. Stop signs, right? Drunk drivers run stop signs, kill people. Stone drivers stop at stop signs and wait for them to turn green.
Exactly.
Like this.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's what I was saying about the people taking, like, I feel like there's a lot of them now jumping in the game where it's like, you know, they've got a brand and they haven't, but they're not doing the work, you know. And I feel like if you wanted to, this is the perfect opportunity for somebody who really wants a brand to do it, to be involved from day one. And I've had a bunch of people approach me, and every time they do, I say, that's fine, I'll help you, but he has to come or she has to come and do the work.
So you could help me create my own brand? Okay, because I am a branding god of gods. I have helped brand
you little pickles.
BMF Entertainment Incorporated, which is a urban entertainment company here in the United States of America, because I'm sure here we're very much abroad. Mm-hmm. And
that's Black.
I've wanted to do that for so long, and I've even tried, right? So I'm like, hey guys, let's go ahead and figure me out a strain. I guess that was the word for it. Like, I want my own strain.
You already passed one test. There you go.
What's that?
You didn't say strand.
It's not a strand.
As long as you don't.
It's definitely not a strand. If someone creates you a strand, guys, let's just know. Yeah, this might be the strand. Good job. Yeah, from the strain.
Like I said, you already passed phase one, because that's, to me, like, where I feel like there's a lot of, you know, bullshit in the industry, and it's just like, if you're really interested and you want to do it, then you do it from the ground up. You help with the selection. You learn the ins and outs of the plants, and when somebody asks you about it, you can explain it to them in a real way. You're not just throwing like whatever they told you on, like, it's like that company from Dan Bilzerian, right? That Ignite, you know, he lost $53 million last year or something like that.
If they're admitting they lost $53 million, it was $100 million.
It's like, how do you lose $50 million selling cannabis unless you either
smoking it?
Well, you can't.
He was getting high.
He went out.
I mean, he was getting high. It must have been real good. Like, he was like, wait, guys, I want to see if this super kush is all right. Wait, give me another pound.
I think it was the opposite. I think the problem was that he was the kind of guy who didn't give a shit, and everybody was just taking advantage of him left, right, and center, which is, you know, and himself overspending on him, you know, on doing fake promotion.
His purchasing manager used to spend $15 on all his 5-gallon pots per pot, you know, stuff like that.
But at the end of the day, like, if you just put the work in, and you know, it's like, it's a great thing to do. It's almost like if somebody who, if I was interested in making if I was somehow I could sing and I wanted to make fucking music, and somebody said, hey, you want to come in and I'll show you how to do it? You're like, no, can you just have someone else sing it for me and I'll pretend and put it on? No, you know, you'd rather do it for real. And that would be and that's the same sort of thing. And with cannabis now, it's like, and people know that's the problem, is like, nobody cares if there's a name attached to it, if there's not a story behind it for a reason. Like, if there's a reason, I'm like, oh shit, I saw the guy actually got involved. Yeah. And authenticity comes through like no other right now, because there's so much fakeness in the world, right, in general, that if you can somehow be authentic and and that's where I feel like, you know, lucky enough, I feel like I'm glad that I'm old enough now to have sort of seen the, you know, like, I grew up in New York in the 70s and 80s, you know, when it was really New York. And then now you could not know what that is if you've never been there. You just see, see like people with M&Ms dressed up in Times Square, and you're like, this is not New York. You know, this is not the Times Square when I was a kid. When I was a kid, that was like where you got switchblades and fucking porn shops and weirdness, and you just cruised around and it was all like shady.
Like Hell's Kitchen.
Porn shops, what?
Yeah. You know what I mean? And nowadays it's like, And I feel like that's kind of with cannabis too. Like, cannabis used to be underground, and used to be like, you had to really know somebody to have good weed. And nowadays, like, if you can get pretty good weed everywhere, you might pay through the nose for it or whatever, and you might not have the you know, but there's always
buying weed in New York in the 70s and 80s?
No, I wasn't in the 70s, but 80s, yes.
You 70, bro?
No, I'm 51 now. I'm 51. So.
You're 51?
Yeah, I just turned 50.
Good job. All right, hand clap for 51-year-old, 26-year-old. All right. Damn it.
You're 26?
But no, I bought
26?
some weed in Washington Square Park and places like that. You know,
No, I'm not. I'm 42.
Oh. Okay,
He's a 26-year-old looking 50.
He's a vegan. That's why. Totally vegan.
Because he smoked good. Listen, my thing is, I think I've never even really been able to go as far because I think that like the people that do this predominantly that I've met, they even want to do it all by themselves. And then they just come to you like, oh, look here, which one you want? This one or this one? We're going to put your name on it and make a package. And then I'm like, bro, all right, never mind, bro. Because I thought I would
they're still thinking
shit before we got to get it together. If I do one, I want one that compliments me.
There we go.
I want it to be me.
Yeah.
So you might think I'm a dick, excuse my language, but if I'm
edit that out, Mark.
I don't want to put my name on something that I wouldn't smoke myself. Like, yeah, here's the trash by Blue Da Vinci. Like, come on, bro. That's not what I would have smoked. Well, I want you to smoke what I would enjoy. That way I know that our marketing potential for this product is going to be through the roof.
I already thought earlier, I was like, I would get DJ Short involved because he's the man known for, behind the genetics from the Blue Dream and all those blue strains.
Right.
So, you bring somebody like that into the mix. So you kind of, don't... And that's the thing is the whole thing about right now with breeding is it's a lot of collaborations, right? Because one guy might have a really good male, one guy might have a really stellar female, one guy might, have a combination that fits your sort of category, like we were saying earlier, which I think is a terpenoline heavy, with the terpy. We're looking for the terpy shit.
We're looking for the terpy shit because that's the shit that people love, bro.
And what's also funny is
I want that. I want that. I want that.
Right.
You mentioned Oaksterdam in 2009, Adam. I was in Oaksterdam in 2009, and Adele said at the time, buyers buy cannabis based on their nose, not on their eyes.
It's true.
So that's true. What it's all about. It's that terpene profile and that entourage effect.
Well, and it's like that. Once there's certain weed out there that you'll know, you don't give a fuck what it looks like because you know what it tastes like. And there's weed that looks beautiful and it's like got nothing to it and they got nothing going for it, once you're actually smoking it. Let's see.
Oh, Mark, a perfect opportunity for the wah, 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 wah.
What is that? Oh, he dropped it?
Yeah.
Oh, you guys got to add the sound effect right now.
Oh, he does.
The tech guy is right there.
Right there.
I forgot why I'm like, that dude ain't saying shit. He must be high as shit. Like, I forgot he's the tech guy. He ain't supposed to say nothing.
Yeah. This ain't my show.
So,
that's what his voice sound like.
That's
all right.
Yeah.
That's Mark.
Wow, look, the tech guy sound the best. Like,
of course,
I can't hear nobody better than him coming through. Like, it sounds like I had the headphones.
Oh, we see how it goes right now.
Perfect.
Okay.
He make his sound perfect, but he doesn't talk. That's how it works. So
Mark's a little pissed off because he was supposed to be with you guys, but Adam sort of left him hanging.
That's not true at all. He pushed out.
Don't worry, Mark. You didn't miss anything but a big $8 million facility with a nice few nugs with some good automatic dabbing. Hey, man, great time.
Yeah, no, it was a good party last night.
Don't worry, I'll even today. Hey, I'll smoke enough for you too, buddy.
Right on, man.
Hey, man.
Hell yeah.
Where's my mask?
So guys, what about how do you market a great product? Okay, in this competitive market, you've got all of these different companies winning cups and doing all these different things. So many, this information age, so much genetics, so many things being crossbreeded and totally mutilated into things that we would never imagine we would smoke. How do we market in this competitive industry right now, today? If we just came with a great product and we're at the starting line, how do we compete with some of the top brands out there?
It's right here.
I would say the thing.
He said what?
Right here.
I'm your freaking guy then. If that's it, plaster that all over the side of it and send me all over the United States of America twice. I'll guarantee you to collect in every market that we hit. It'll be my dying last duty.
No, it has to be the best product there is. That's
it's
the
a
start.
combination. Well, it's a combination of two. Like right now, we're in it's crazy because we're in this whole Instagram sort of exposure age where like people can hype shit, to no end. There's different channels, but at the end of the day, it's when it comes to cannabis, it's like it has to deliver, right? It can't fucking hype without the deliver. And to me, the way I always look at it is, even back in the day, like before there was like, now there's like shops. You can go into an Apple looking store that has all the buds looking really dope. And maybe now they won't let you smell them every time like they used to. But
Dr. Green Thumbs and
but
Cali
there was times where you could do that. And, at the end of the day, like it really came down to, as he was saying, it has to have the good smell. It has to have the right effect, and it sells itself. And I'd go to a place that was like a little hole in the wall bodega
to get the good.
If it was the good weed, and you wouldn't give a fuck about what's going on inside. And if you go to a place and it's beautiful and the weed sucks, you're like, these guys are just taking all.
They're selling bags here.
You go there once.
Selling air at that point,
like
right?
Once.
It's pretty
Just
bags with Lipton iced tea in it.
And that's and that is unfortunately the way it's gotten too. Is like now it's more hype about the bag that it comes in and the packaging.
But we got to have some nice packaging too, though. Like you said, it's kind of like everything.
It's about creative. I think in the long run, to me, it's about being eco-friendly, creative, because that's the biggest also.
So we got to go green.
Yeah, for sure. Because I mean, it's a consumable, right? You're smoking it every day. So if you're like buying a sack every day, and you're buying it and it comes in some bulletproof case that's got like 5 latches on it, and then you throw that into the waste landfill and it takes 1,000 years for that shit to break down. You're like, wait a minute, what am I doing? You know what I mean? Whereas if you could come out, I think the idea is to streamline all your packaging to something that makes sense. And if it is something like this, make it useful for something else so that people reuse them and it turns into something like, it's like when you have that remember how we used to carry weed in film cases back in the day? Like we had little film canisters.
Pop.
And now if you show somebody a film canister, they wouldn't even know what the fuck it was.
What is that?
Like,
what
medicine? What is the
what you got, a Percocet? No, man.
Exactly. So, but the fact that we reuse those, I mean, stoners reused every film case we ever got, right? You wouldn't throw that away. You'd be like,
man, you know how many film cases you have? And I think I still got film cases in my mom's garage with like the regular Mexican $5. I got some of that still in there from when I was like 16 or something.
Some of the best weed in the world, though, comes from those film cases that were stuffed into a freezer at somebody's house back in the day when they got some killer Thai weed.
Well, I was just going to say a Thai stick or something in there.
And they put those seeds.
And we're showing our age right now. Like these kids, they don't know anything about Thai weed and Thai sticks.
They're learning again. But
chocolate Thai and all of that stuff.
No, you'd be surprised. You'd be surprised because they go to dispensaries and they order off a menu.
Yeah,
chocolate Thai.
No, he just said chocolate Thai. Don't get Dave.
No. Oh, whoa! I missed it.
Well, there's no such thing.
Now you're talking about.
Of course, there no.
Now you're talking my language.
1988.
I'm a 78 baby, so I came up with the smokers that were smoking 88, 87, 86.
That was the Thai. That was those chocolate Thai years. Like I remember.
That's when it used to come on a stick. It used to come on a big vine, a big stem, and then the buzz would be tightly niched to the stem. And it would come as a Thai stick. I remember I was like 8 years old and would see my cousins light it with that stick. I mean, roll off of that Thai stick. They wouldn't even get it in a package. It would be rolled up the stick would be rolled up in like a Reynolds wrap. And the stick would be like this long and the buzz would be connected to the stick. It wasn't even in baggies or anything like that. That was the 80s.
That was a
even
good
have
time.
bags.
It was in bags. Oh, okay. What about this? Remember manila envelopes as packaging? Because that's the 70s. That's what my mom, I remember as a kid, 4 or 5 years old around my house. I mean, shout out to my mom, love her to death. But, maybe they had some issues in the house where they were going to the hospital and getting some medicine, Yeah. And they had manila envelopes, little small ones that looked like weed baggies, the size of weed baggies, but they were actually manila envelopes.
The vanilla in the manila. It's funny is when you're a kid, you remember certain smells and things, and like those kind of weeds from back in the day always had this certain air lingering quality, Like if you walked in the room, you'd be like, bam.
No, but all I know is when it's good when you try to eat it.
Oh yeah.
See, look, watch this. Watch this, everybody. Wait, that wasn't good enough. Wait,
is that a joint or is that a blunt?
Is that a joint, man?
This is a joint because this is where the terps are at their.
There you go.
It's like with wine. You have to wash it or swish it around.
Taste it a little bit.
Add a lot of air, swish it around.
Right, add air, but it's this for me. This is what does it.
Oh, I know exactly what you're talking about. It's yeah. It's
if I can do that and then I get a satisfying after effect, we're on to something. Now, for me, like you said, is that the one that?
No, it's a new one. It's a different one.
I'm talking about the one that you had me smell a second ago.
No, it's a different one.
Well, what is it?
Yeah. So this is the funny enough. This is the Forgotten.
Hey,
and so the Forgotten is, it came labeled as Amnesia to me as a clone, and I was like, and I know I've grown Amnesia, and I know what it smells like totally. And when it grew, I was like, this is not Amnesia. This is something totally different, and nobody can tell me what it is. So we just called it the Forgotten. What's up, Biggie?
All right, Biggie. We understand. Yeah, Biggie likes the Amnesia.
That is Biggie. Coming from Breadwinning Genetics.
Breadwinning Genetics is
that's it.
Parent of Biggie.
Is that what you breed dogs too?
No, it's in Oklahoma.
Come here, Biggie.
Shout out to Rocky Mountain Pit Bulls out there. I've been following their feed on Instagram. They just had puppies, and the Super Bully breed is new to me. I always had pit bulls in my life, just American.
He's a big one.
Oh, look at a blue.
That's Biggie.
Oh. He's gorgeous.
Big one. He's a heavy one. Look at him.
He's got twice as big as he was the last time I saw him.
Come here.
So he's definitely putting it on.
Yeah, he's a heavy one. You want to get out, buddy? Come on, let's go ahead and get out. All right. Biggie.
Star.
Yeah, he's the star of the show.
So, well, let's talk a little bit about, just background, because people still, they're gonna be like,
who's this guy?
Who is this guy? What's he all about? I mean, you were in, like you said, you were born in what you said,
78,
almost the 80s, close to the 80s, still in the 70s. Like I was born in 69, so it sounds super old. It's like it gets the extra age just because of that 1 year. If I said 70, it would be like, okay.
Right.
Yeah, 69, you're like, well, that's fucking the 60s, right?
Like, oh, my mom and
but So you grew up in New York, right?
L.A.
Oh, no, you grew up in L.A. Sorry, okay. Fine.
Yeah, man.
I can do my homework.
I'm from one of the home of the growing, man.
Nice.
I have family members that were growing since that's my age, but 42, 43. It's been growing. That had been growing since he was 18 years old. From a mixed part of the family, my dad's brother's son grew up with his family in Humboldt County, actually.
That's awesome.
So, he grew up right under the wing of trying to figure it out. So, even to this day, these guys do a bunch of crossing and a bunch of different kind of things.
Humboldt is like it's kind of sad because the whole industry like really forgot about all the major people that were out there. Like those places that were like the root, like that's where it really started. You know what I mean? Those are the guys that deserve.
Those are the dinosaurs.
And they deserve the most. Like right now, it should almost be like, not that I'd want them to be like an amusement ride, but almost like you should just drive from farm to farm and see the real guys who really did it and try the weed. But they've just been left in the dust because they didn't want to deal with the regulations and
big business.
People came in and just.
Hey, when you're running your personal business, to get into big business, it's a little uncomfortable,
Yeah,
you've been doing what you want to do for so long. Somebody come in and tell you what you have to do. Wait a minute here, guys. These are just trees we're growing here. When did it become robotics?
Yeah, it's sad, but at the same time,
oh fuck,
that's just the way that is literally how the industry rolls. You know what I mean? There's
2X, you fucker.
There's places like LA and stuff too, where it used to always be the receiver of the NorCal weed. But now they've become more independent, being able just to grow their own. Have you still? So you're down here now, though?
Yeah. I live here in Miami.
Yeah, but obviously you're back in LA a lot.
Yeah, I'm back and forth to LA.
I mean, how do you feel? Because I think the scene out there really is like it's weird because they never really fell into line properly, and they've always had this sort of parallel run of like people who want to get legal, but they can't, but they're just going to keep going until they get caught or something goes, just going to keep
or
on.
Hopefully they legalize.
They're going to keep rolling. And in Colorado, I'd say people kind of fell into line a lot quicker because the population is so much smaller. You're going to get caught quicker. You can't really just like run and hoping, well, there's 20 other guys doing the same thing.
Oh yeah. You're singled out.
It's the numbers thing. And like you said, you have friends, obviously. I'm sure you have plenty of people that are in the game. How have you seen the changes in those years? Like, I mean,
as far as just okay. All right.
Or what's your opinion?
Acceptance is the biggest change that I've seen in this industry since, let's just take it back to, I would have to say like right around 2015 or 16.
Okay, so that's a long 5 years ago.
So for California, like, and even when they went free rec and things like that. So it's like, okay, well, we were growing up. It's like weed, you gotta go to jail to drugs. But now it's kind of like, it's kind of like, oh, y'all smoking weed? Cool, let me get it. And you're like, all right, auntie. Right. You know what I'm saying? So it's like a lot more common. It's not looked at and frowned upon as much.
Well, it's funny because at one point,
people from the 60s that kind of
At one point, Cali was...
Well, it's the people from the 60s that are your relatives that say, you live in Colorado. Do you have those cookies or those brownies? Right. Maybe you could help me sleep. I don't want any pot, but maybe a cookie.
I don't want to smoke anything, but would you have anything that could help me sleep through the night? Sure. Well, there was a 560 milligram.
There was a point like where California was like the future, right there.
Right.
I feel like California was always in the future when it came to cannabis. Like when I'd go there, I'd be like, oh man, this is what it's going to be like, And like, even though like I was living in Amsterdam, so of course that's the real future, right? That's where the whole world just became like, but at one point when I came back to the States, I was like, Cali's going to be the spot. It's going to, it's always going to lead. And then they got left behind once Colorado went rec and Washington went rec. Everywhere else was kind of jumping the lead on that. And because they had to fall into line, it kind of got everything to the point where we all realized like, oh, legalization sucks balls. Like it's not good because it kills all the little guys and it kills all those, the real people that actually fucking deserve it.
Big
you know what I mean?
Business.
And so it hasn't
got
been
the same motherfuckers that are making Newports getting ready to fucking make weeds.
It hasn't really fallen into our
fuck, bro. They got the Newport fair. All right, guys. Let's stop the Newports and we're going fucking THC. Let's rig these fucking machines up. Let's go. We have no time.
We don't want what we want is
us right out, of course.
We want descheduling.
Well, again, the only thing
we don't
that
want
can
any
save us,
rescheduling.
which I think it will, is the fact that people are becoming a little more savvy when it comes to who they support with their money. So it's like it hasn't worked out to their advantage when it comes to like weed, because it's still, no matter how big you think it is, it's still a really fucking small thing in the big, grand scheme of things. Like tobacco is huge. The numbers are astronomical. Like as far as just the amount of people, the consumption every day, 20, boom, boom, boom. But with weed, we're a growing population not even as a pun, but it's a weird age group though. It's not young. It's not like with tobacco, you have to get the youngest people in because you want to get them in young and like keep them in there.
Right.
And then they die off. With cannabis, it's the opposite because it's like a healing herb, right? So like you get the older people, all of a sudden you get these people in their 60s, they've never smoked cannabis in their life because they've been scared of it.
It's
and then
been
all of a sudden it's like, hey, you can try it now. It's legal. And they do. And they go like, God damn it. Why
I've missed this my whole life.
And now they feel better than they've ever felt. And it's like, you're like, oh, I've only got a few years left, but it's going to be the best few years because now all of a sudden I'm
talking about they marking off their bucket list and all type of shit.
Well, and also like when you see women in their, men and women in their 80s taking Oxycontin, you're like, dude, that will knock you on your ass if you were healthy. Imagine like if you're like young and vibrant. These people are frail and old and they're taking massive amounts of opiates. And you're just like, look at that. If you gave them just a little bit of cannabis, which would cost like one fraction of what those drugs cost, and it would help them so much and open them up, and then all of a sudden they're eating better and they're their whole body and their systems are working in a more consistently because they've got the right fucking batteries at that point. It's crazy. It's like cannabis is one of those great conspiracies of modern times, as far as the 80 years that we haven't had it has fucked us up for generations to come. You know what I mean? Because our health is shittier, our food, people kind of lost touch. It's the way it is.
Man, I don't know. I think you put this fucking joint out too quick. I know you lighten up that rig, but I gotta make sure my lungs is ready for that rig.
Yeah, go for it.
The sound man, he over there, man. He making an album out this shit. He gonna edit into a whole Jay-Z feature. I already know.
There's no editing on this show, Blue.
No, we don't know it.
No, I'm saying I was talking about the audio from this show. He's going to edit it into an album.
Well,
when the show's over.
Yeah, don't tell him that. Look at him. He's already like, fuck that. I ain't editing shit.
Yeah,
we are the unediting crew. Yeah, one thing about our shows is it goes off. It goes into. We feel like they're like a performance every time. It's just like it's gone into the ether. You know, it's like don't ever try to fix it because that'll just ruin it.
So my first memory of cannabis and music, I think it was like 15, 16 years old. I went to see Run DMC at the Feld Forum. It was actually a don't crack convention, but we waited outside to try to buy some weed, bought some weed, got high, went inside the don't crack convention.
What year was that? Like 87? Or
it was because crack came around in like when 85,
let's base 86. Everything on when crack came around. Yep.
No, but it was a don't crack convention.
Yep.
They had
or post crack. Crack is whack.
Yeah,
that was crack is whack. That's when
that was a festival.
That was when what's her name? Nancy Reagan was doing Dare to keep kids off drugs.
It was horrible. Dare. They were criminals. Yeah. Overnight, boom, you smoke grass, you're a criminal. Go to jail. No education, no job. We're shitty back
could you just imagine like they was making weed seem like it was crack though, like coke or something. Like they like
drugs were drugs.
They're like heroin, cocaine, weed. Like hold on, man, don't say that shit in the same sentence.
Yeah, and that's the crazy part about it was that the most dangerous part of weed was the cops, right? I mean, that's like, and it was like. You're the most obvious on the block. They drive in, they smell weed, search around, you figure out who's.
Yeah, just because you can't smell the cocaine in the air, they let the fucking crackheads. I mean, excuse me, to all the crackheads, but I'm just saying you could have the real drugs and get away, but somebody smoking.
Mark doesn't mind.
You're going down, buddy. Freeze. Get on the ground. Spread your legs. How much marijuana you got? Dump it on the ground. Right. Hey man, when they put my weed on the ground and stomp it out with their feet, I pass out every time.
Come on, it's the quintessential scene from Family Guy, right? Where they find Brian in the back. They're like, okay, we've got a dead body. We've got the murder weapon. Car soaked in blood. All right, you can go right now. Pulls the visor down, a small amount of pot falls, a small amount of pot, and they draw down on him. That's the greatest scene ever. It described basically everything in my life from 13 to about 27. You know, that's the way it always was. It was fuck.
Yeah, and that's the thing is that everybody now is finally like more relaxed about it. People, like you're saying, like if you smoke a joint, it's not like people are asking, hey, if they can join the circle or whatever, you know. And it's the way it should be. I mean, it's definitely good.
Man, Cali, right? So in Cali, you can smoke outside, but you can like you gotta park your car. I don't know. It's weird.
You can't have your keys in the ignition.
Where your keys can't be in the ignition, but you can't be out the car, so you gotta hotbox your shit, basically. So you got in Cali is just like the hotbox capital of the world. So like everybody's riding around stopping and pulling over and you just seeing cars with clouds on the side of the road. Like, why is there so many cars on the side of the road? Shit, they getting hot. You can't smoke and drive. So people was really stopping and obeying the law. So I'm going home and I'm like, you know, I'm living in Miami. So, you know, I might go hustle 3 months or whatever, right? I go home like, yo, bro, why is there so many cars on the side of the road? Where's everybody parking? And like, no, them people in the car, bro, you just can't see in there because all the cars are smoking. They look like his background. And every car on the side of the street in California.
That's funny. That is funny. That's like when I think it was like 91 or something like that. I was going back to New York and it was raining out. And I kept seeing, I didn't know what it was, but I kept seeing these piles. I don't have any else just right here. But I've been seeing these little piles everywhere, and I thought it was dog shit every time I saw it because they're little wet brown piles. and they were like all on the side of as I went down to the subway, I see like all these piles, and I'm like, wait a minute, how are people getting dogs up there to shit? And then I realized it was everybody smoking blunts. It was blunt guts, and I didn't even know what blunt guts were because I was living in Amsterdam for about.
I didn't even know what blunt guts were.
I was
blunt
like,
guts.
what the fuck is that?
What kind of weed they throwing away over here?
Well, it was raining out that time, and they were everywhere, and I was just tripping out on these little piles of dog shit that I thought were everywhere. And I was like, man, they got to clean up the dog shit.
I was tripping out on these little piles of dog shit that I thought was everywhere.
And then they were up on the spikes, you know, the tops where all the spikes are going down to the subways. And I was like, how the fuck are dogs getting up on the fucking side? I was tripping out.
Very agile dogs.
It's tobacco. It's not.
These are sideways wall walking dogs.
They know how to walk on the tips of the points.
The LA thing, because like, so maybe they are falling in line. Maybe they are finally being like Colorado and figuring out that if they can just play with
abide by the rules a little bit. They're doing it because
you have the ability to at least, you know.
I go home, I'm like, man, I'm finna walk outside the Fat Burger while we ordering food and smoke this blunt right quick. And my cousin's like, bro, just go to the car, you good. Because if they drive down the street and see you smoking it, they'll give you a WUI. Like, what the fuck is a WUI? Walking under the influence. What the fuck out of here, bro?
No,
like, just get in the car so we don't have to worry about it. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna fall in the line then.
Are they calling it a W?
No, I was
just
fuck with my humor a little bit. It's a little extensive.
I was gonna say that's crazy. That'd be crazy.
But he didn't want me to smoke outside the car, just like on the street. But I'm seeing other people do it. Everywhere you go, it just smell like coffee.
Well, the thing is, it's by law. It's not allowed to. They're not allowed to assume that you're high by the smell in the car. Like, you can't get, like, if they pull you over and they smell weed,
then it's loitering for marijuana.
That's not, and then
still a charge.
Well,
it should smell like weed. You smoked some weed yesterday?
Exactly. Well, that's the thing, is they can ask you when,
and then that goes back to your test. Yeah, so it's like, take this test. I haven't smoked weed since last Wednesday. Just take this fucking test. Yeah. Micro. Oh, hell yeah, he's high.
Nano.
Like, bro, I smoked last Wednesday.
There's no test. There's no like actual test. Like
that blood thing?
No. Blood is the only way you can do it.
Right.
And that's where it's like, that to me, that's the reason I left Amsterdam, because I lived there for 21 years, right? And after I was there for 21 years, I got pulled over.
Shit.
Oh yeah, I was definitely high. It was a long weekend, is how I tell people. Like,
I went
there,
weekend.
it was
21 years.
21 years
like
later,
Peter.
I came home and I was like, damn, that was a party weekend from hell right there. But no, it was definitely weird, because I got pulled over and they were like very serious about taking me in to take a blood test. And I was like, fuck no, I'm not getting a blood test. You know what I mean? Not for weed. I was like, I tell you right now, it'll come out really high. Like, yeah, this guy has a lot of weed in the system.
This guy's made of weed.
But I'm not high, and I can do anything. I said, give me a test. And they're like, no, you have to do blood. And I'm like, but that doesn't tell you anything. That just tells you I smoke a lot of weed. That's what I'm trying to tell you. They're like, oh, so you don't want to do it? I'm like, I'm not going to do it, you know? So then I had to sit in the jail cell for a night. And then while I sat there, I was like, you know what? I just came back from Colorado, and I was cruising around with my friends, and we were getting all high. And I was like, this is so cool. Like, this is back in America. And so it was the reason I moved back, because I was like, fuck this place. I'm done. If I can't even, because I was not driving a car, even I was driving like a little vehicle, which doesn't even need a license.
Right.
So technically I was like, you can't even take the license away anyway, because I don't need one. It's like, you have to be 16 or over.
It's like, all right, so if I'm riding my bike in the bike lane,
they can give you that. They give you tickets.
Adam, you think it was actually for that?
For riding my bike in the bike lane?
They just wanted to fuck with you.
Yeah, they just want to fuck with you.
That was it. That was the reason.
That's one of the problems with cannabis in general, is it's really hard to tell. Like, because some people can smoke. You can smoke weed with people who are super lightweights, and like one hit and they're like puking in the corner, and you're like, what the hell happened over here?
Would you stop talking about Mike Denver like that? Okay, he wasn't puking in the corner.
I got you hooked.
Get it rolling. He's trying to smoke the whole jar, bro. This is too much. Look, he got jars that look like this, guys. Like, what's wrong? He needs help smoking it. I brought like 6 people with me. They fucking sitting on the sideline like they finna play fucking double dutch. They want to jump in this shit so bad.
When it vibrates, and you're ready to go.
Yeah, they want to smoke, but I'll smoke enough for all you guys. Don't worry, just chill. He's talking about he don't want no.
You're ready now.
It's ready now?
Yep.
Oh, what do we say about trying to kill one of the guests? Don't do that.
I mean, it has happened. I can't say it hasn't happened where we've shut down a few guests along the way where they're like, done. But
look what you did. Look what you did. Look what you did.
I was telling your crew last night about I was telling them about the Trichrome Challenge tape that we had of all the people smoking, and it was amazing because it was an 18-inch graphics bong from back in the day, and it was just straight. I don't know if you remember the old graphics bongs, which are the straight glass ones, but we had people
just killed them.
Yeah, we had it all. We had just like, yeah, there you go, crying.
What's the name of this shit?
That's a Fabuloso.
Oh, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
It's the tearjerker. Or something like that, bro. Woo! Where's it come from?
From the sky.
Ja.
I have to say, from the gods of cannabis.
Because whatever you were gonna say, I was gonna say no, it doesn't. It comes from outer space. Woo! It's just does something amazing to your body. It's a body high. It's a head high. It's a terp high. Like the terps get you high.
I think you nailed it last night because he was like he took a hit and he was like everything overloaded on him, like every receptor.
Everything, bro. It's just everything lit up. Like I love it so much. Could you steal the bottle? Like, would he care? Does he have a lot more? Would he offer it to you? Like when you smoke some shit and you start getting all them kind of thoughts like that, you know it's good. Like I thought about stealing it. I don't steal shit. Now I had to deal with the devil. Like, yo, bro, chill. Like, no, don't try to steal it. It's what you need it. You need to take it home, Luke. I was like,
I'm sure
Star Wars reference.
There's always a way. There's always a way. And that's the thing is it's like good exposure to high quality cannabis.
Yeah, I'm a Star Warlord. Sorry.
Oh, you're talking to Yoda right there.
I'm Yoda. Guys.
He had his cake.
Show him the cake. Am I Yoda or no? Facts.
You gotta bring the cake up, Mark.
We're Yoda, bro.
He looks a little more like Yoda.
He definitely looks a little more like Yoda, but it's okay. It's okay.
He's got the looks.
He can be Yoda in the flesh.
No, I'm not.
No, you don't look like Yoda, bro. Yoda's one ugly fuck. Like, but he's my dude.
I just said he looks like Yoda. You're missing the point.
Nah, man. He don't look like Yoda, man. Don't do my dog like that, man. You know what I'm saying?
That's why he's a co-host. It's okay. He's allowed. He gets big money for that. He gets paid the big bucks. He gets paid the big bucks to absorb.
All right, so look, is it bad to put that on the inside of my blunt wrap while I smoke?
It's not bad. It's a little expensive, but it's all right. You know, you can do it if you need to. No problem.
I mean, it's not expensive if you're the curator.
Yeah. No, it's one of those things where I do it all the time anyway. Like
exactly. It's just this guy fucking. Come on, bros. That's what I'm talking about. It's expensive if you want to do it. Fuck you, bro. I've got like 6 jars bigger than your local peanut butter jar. Like, come on, man. He tripping. He got these big ass jars. This shit's worth like $2,000 a jar. Like it's really expensive.
Anybody need? You want? Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, but he needs to have smoke for a couple of days.
No, he's got to keep smoking. It's
That's a couple
the
of
only
days
way to
worth
find
right
your
there.
truth. We smoke our whole lives, searching. We're in search of that one hit, that one pull. Our whole lives of smoking, we are searching, and I damn near almost got it off that. Oh, it broke. Fuck, bro.
No, it's all right. I think even if it broke, it just
cracked a little.
Oh shit!
Yeah, I heard it. Let me see.
Oh, the top.
Yeah.
You didn't even know it fell, right? Oh, you thought I was talking about the phone crack? No,
it'll work.
I told him it cracked. He thought I was talking about his phone. He's hitting the rig, and he's like, I don't care. See, that's how you know when it's good.
When you don't even care.
Man threw his phone on the ground and it cracked and he said, I don't care, but it was actually the bolt.
It was, I got an extra one.
Shit.
But yeah, it's...
all right, so I touched it and picked it up, so now it's like a part of me.
Look what you did, Adam.
Oh, now I'm going to be mad. This shit is all over my hands. I'm putting it on my pants. I'm going to smell this shit all night. I'm going to be like, yo, I'm going to call him. I'm going to be like, yo, bro, come on, man. I'm finna come back around there so I can get me a little cap full of that, right?
But yeah, what I do is if I'm filling up these carts and then it overfills, I just use the papers to clean it off, and then I roll my joints with those.
Oh,
so it's no waste. You know what I mean? It's like you're smoking paper towels.
But look, that right there, I can have some good weed, but if I put that in the paper, I could no longer taste that weed. It's over. I don't care what. That shit could cost $10,000 for 3.5. And if I put that in that paper, it's a wrap. You don't smell, taste, none of that, whatever you got rolled up. You might as well just have a blunt paper in there with nothing but the diamonds, you know? Because for real, man, that stuff is different. I wish I could. Hey, Larry, look, guys, my marijuana dream is to be able to just smoke this all day. I don't have to smoke no more flower. Ever.
Well, you're living in the wrong state then. You got to move to Colorado or California. Or maybe Oklahoma soon.
I mean, in California, I still got a house in California, so I could just store it there and go home and smoke it.
Problem solved.
There you go. Yeah, problem solver.
It happens on this show a lot.
Which president do we want to win? Which one is saving trees?
Don't even start. Don't let him go.
Come on, man. One second. Like, which president do we want to win? Because I'm a felon, so I can't even fucking vote. So I'm just gonna ride with somebody. Like, who's saving the trees, bro? One of the presidents got to be trying to save the trees. Whichever president, is trying to save the trees.
Are you talking about somebody who might be part of the Paris Peace Accord for environmental regulation and keeping the planet healthy?
Wait, the what? Hold on. The what? The what? This is how I learned.
The Paris Accord. The environmental, the agreement in Paris that we backed out of, that was about air quality regulation and
to
saving the environment, saving the trees and stuff.
Why do we back out?
This is a cannabis show, and you're going to get me in trouble. Yeah, I'm pro-cannabis, and I'm pro-robot.
Go there. Every time we do it, all our people go,
sorry, guys.
And there's all
Hey, guys, I'm a gangster, so please never mind my questions, because I'm just fucking trying to learn, bro. At the end of the day, I just want to know who's saving the trees, man, so I can try to encourage people to vote for them so we can save the weed. I just need more of this. This all I'm after, guys.
So don't judge me. Those are all the trees we want to save right there.
Yeah.
These are the trees that I'm fucking talking about. Who's trying to save those trees?
That's it. And it's, oh, look at him. He's going hard now.
Oh, I thought that was an effect. I thought that was VFX.
No, that's the big boys.
Yo, Mark, I thought you put a layer of VFX smoke on there, bro. I'm like, Mark's going to work for real today. He's hooking me up.
Deal.
That's a real VFX.
Damn, Mark. Look at you all on vacation because you didn't come down here.
I know, right?
But you actually, like you said, you're a felon, which unfortunately a lot of our listeners are probably felons too, because it's like,
But the thing about that, all felons, guess what? If you don't have violence, if it's a certain statute of time, you can get your rights restored. You can still go vote.
The hard part is you got to go possess. You got to go in and deal with it.
You got to go be grown. Go be grown. I know. I just want to encourage everybody. Nah, man, fuck that shit. We be high as shit, bro. Mm-hmm. Smoke a fucking bowl, smoke a blunt, a joint. Fucking take a dab and go get those fucking rights restored, bro. Those are your rights. They're not nobody else's rights, man. Go get them fucking rights restored, and let's go ahead and fucking smoke in peace, and let's have a peace, and we can have a peace and still be peaceful.
Yeah, well, it's interesting too, because the people that got kicked out of the industry were people who were the most in the industry because that's what they got fucked for in the first place. Like, wait a minute, I was growing weed, I got busted, and now you're saying I can't grow weed. Doesn't make fucking sense. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, there should be almost like a fast track. You should be like, oh, wait a minute, you got busted for growing weed.
So you're one of the first people that should be able to grow.
You get to go to the top of the list.
Nah, bro, that makes a lot of sense.
Because you were the one who actually was showing.
Fucking did no, you did time.
Yeah.
And we changed the law.
Yeah.
So now look, all right, how about this? They change laws all the time, okay? So
are you actually trying to use logic in the law?
No, this is not even logic. This is just common sense, unless we're calling common sense.
But again, common sense. What? And our elected officials.
Doesn't this make the sense? You got to look at it. You got to give different variables to get to an understanding a lot of times. Bro, they had a crack law, okay? The penalty on the crack law was like fucking 100 to 1.
Yeah, to powder.
Yeah. When I was in prison when they changed the crack law. I was in federal prison when they changed the crack law. Bro, when they changed it, people that wasn't finna get out for 25 more years was getting immediate release. And then people were telling them they sorry and shit on their way out the door. So You trying to tell me the same people that took all them cannabis charges, now cannabis is legal. They the least you can do is say, hey, if you guys want to get into this industry, because y'all was doing this shit way before everybody else. Like y'all was being renegades doing this shit, so y'all know better than everybody. Y'all go ahead to the forefront.
Yeah, but Blue, there are still thousands of people in jail for cannabis crimes. It's called the Last Prisoner Project. So if you want to save the trees, support that project. The Last Prisoners Project is trying to get people who are incarcerated for cannabis offenses released, because the tide did turn. You know, it is a different country we're in, and no one should be in jail for a cannabis crime. Especially something that it's a plant. So it's called the Last Prisoner Project. We've talked about it on the show in the past, and that's something you can get behind. That's a great cause.
Oh yeah, that's dope. That's something I'm gonna look into.
Yeah, you know, it's like I lived in Amsterdam for 20 plus years, and the thing about cannabis,
was high as shit.
The thing about cannabis there was that the Dutch people didn't care about it like Americans cared about it, right? They cared about the money. They were money fixated. So everything was based on money. And it's kind of happening here as far as the industry goes when it comes to like the reality of the people got to get the shareholders have to be happy. Everybody's, you know, it's all these massive amounts of investment. The prices have gone in weird directions where it's like, you know, wholesale for as low as, you know, $1,000 or less isn't really even uncommon, you know, when there was just so much weed on the market, and then it can go up to as much as like $6,000 a pound. $6,800. You know, when you're just like, oh, we're almost back to the 90s. You know what I mean? It's like, it's trippy how it's.
Hey, but you know what's crazy? Mm-hmm. All right, how about this? On another note, in 2017, okay, I noticed that like shit was like $80 a 7 and $40 a 3.5, like around the board. So I go back home to California, and I'm like, okay. So like I got a medical card at home. When I'm in Miami, of course, I can't smoke like that. There's no weed available like that for me, at least. You know what I'm saying? And then when I go back to California, it's kind of like, okay, here's this kid with a medical card that can go inside of a dispensary and get these different types of marijuana, but now the prices are like the real prices. And it's like, wait, the 3.5 is $80. What the hell kind of weed is this? This weed better smoke yourself, and then I just get high all of a sudden. Like, how come this shit is so much? But then that's how the market is putting the value back in itself. When you have people taking this plant and treating all the plants, they were trying to treat all the plants as the same value. Like, oh, I don't care whatever it is, it's $40. Like, hold on, bro. Like, do you know what these people did to grow this plant and how much it took and how much time and effort? You got some people that look at the plants like this when they're growing them. Hey, little baby, you're going to be such a superstar one day. You know what I'm saying? That's a lot of care and attention to go into a plant. You know what I'm saying? So those plants cost more. They cost more.
It's like factory farming compared to a small farm, you know, and the quality of the meat coming from those, because those animals are treated properly. Because if you're going to eat meat, you're going to want to eat that meat. You're not going to want to eat the meat that's all bad.
From the chickens with no heads that were just incubated.
They've been all just treated shitty, and it absorbs into the, you know, the energy gets into the meat, and it gets the same thing with cannabis. Like, the plants really absorb the vibe, you know. So if you're in a room where people are just like pushing that shit, a bunch of Vietnamese guys growing it with salts who don't give a shit and fucking pushing it PGRs, you get this really dense hard weed which looks really like little
grains, nugs,
but that's all crap. That don't taste. That shit's bad for you. Like,
it's
that
not
weed,
none of this shit.
If you see that weed, you're like, oh, something sketchy here. If I see weed that's so compact, I'm like, I don't.
Hold on, but what about nugs that are tight? Hold on,
you can have tight. You can have tight.
What about? Hold on, wait. What about nugs that are tight?
Yeah,
right. Because I looked at these.
Yeah.
But they are all breathing at the same time. Now that's what you call perfection. Look at the trim. Look at the cut on this shit.
That's him right there.
You trim this? Talk to my son. Yo, Vision, check this out. Come look at this right quick. So my son, I don't know how much you guys talked about this, but this is what he does as well, right? Look at this shit. Look at the cut on this shit, bro. It's beautiful. Like, he killed this cut. Like, he actually cares about this, guys. Like, when you guys catch people that don't give a fuck about your cut, don't smoke the weed, okay? I'm telling you now, because the plants, you know.
Now Bodie's in trouble.
The plants endure this through their life of growth, bro. It's like train a child in the way that they should grow, and when they grow, they'll never depart from it. So if you smacking these plants around and they come down and they hang and dry, you just fucking snipping at them and kicking them to the bucket, then that's exactly the product you're gonna have. So the Blue Da Vinci strain is gonna be a lot like, bro, you wanna cut my joints when they dry? We gotta go to LA.
But yeah, it's
or Colorado. I'm coming to Colorado, bro.
We definitely need to come to Colorado.
Smooth, give me some ski suits.
That's it.
I'm going to Aspen and all that. I'm getting busy when I come to Colorado. I'm bringing my Rolls Royce.
The whole thing about cannabis is handling. We always say that on the show too, and it's like if you have 7 different people touching the weed before the weed gets to you, it's like food. You don't want that. You don't want people handling it because it's just like every person who touches it, it breaks it down a little further. It's either like it goes from this temperature to that temperature to this humidity to that humidity. Whereas if you have one guy in charge, and that's where we are, our sort of background has always been craft cannabis. You know what I mean? Like I grow 10 pounds and I trim everything by hand, and it's all
10 of the best pounds,
but not like I grow 100 pounds and it's like all with a run of machine, and I throw in a twister and it goes ring, 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 and it comes out. All the buds come out pointed out with a little crow's foot at the bottom because nobody wants to snip that little thing. And you're like, you goddamn crow's foot, and it pokes through.
Goddamn crow's foot.
It pokes through your joint every time, and you're like,
oh, I hate that. But I'm a master at picking that joint off.
Oh,
like
Rose and Dogs.
Like every nug, like if I open up a nug, any crow's foot on any nug, as soon as I break the nug, when I'm finna break the weed down, I just grab into the bottom of every nug and just pop that joint off. And then, you know what I'm saying? I think I became a pro at that.
I always consider it like surgery, like joint surgery at a certain point. You're like, we can save this. This is good. This is doable. You know what I mean? Like
this is doable.
It's like, and then there's times when there's a few times where you're just like, fuck it.
What's the best?
We lost another one, man. We lost a great one. We lost a great joint.
Huh? What's the best weed you think you ever smoked? I'm not supposed to be fucking asking him questions.
I mean, best. Yeah, that is one of those things. It's like best.
I'm a co-host today. I forgot to tell everybody. Co-host.
Co-host.
We got a gang sign for the host today. This is my
Did I just get
co-host
replaced?
sign for the day.
Co-host.
Oh yeah,
Halloween edition.
You do all the shout outs then.
Best weed is very much like saying best song, or I'm best. Even when I was a kid, what's your favorite color? I'd be like black because I can't say any other. Even though I kind of like red though, but then I like this. Then I like yellow and red, but I like black and red and white and black. So it's like
Dunn is confused, guys.
So with weed,
and next week we will figure out what fucking best strain he had. Come on, man, you gotta have one that at least a little bit surpasses the rest.
Well,
come on, you can say sage.
Sage was my own things. With sage, that was the plant that
It's original sage.
Well, I smoked it for 15 years straight, like nothing but almost.
I never smoked it, bro.
Well, you're smoking half of it in some of these things. So
that's what this is inside of this stuff?
There's some sage in that. All
right, guys, wait a minute. Excuse me. Sidebar. Fucking sage is great. If sage is in these jars.
Yes, sir.
I need sage in my life.
Well, that's the funny thing is sage is a terpenoline heavy plant.
That's why, bro.
That's why I knew you would like that. So I've already thought that. But that was like the first, that was the plant that made me understand that, like you had to have the best weed in the room. Like I was like, all right, this is in my pocket at all times because every time I walked
boutique.
In. It has a unique sort of.
Go ahead and be bougie. Stop looking like that, man. It's fucking boutique. It's upscale. Let's go ahead and say it and give somebody some credit. Whoever fucking made this stuff, these guys are great, and I would love to be a part.
I wonder who
and I don't care. I'll say it. I have many companies that I talk to, but everybody try to throw me these pounds. Oh, yeah, you want this one, or this one? Fuck you. I don't want none of those, bro. They smell like shit. Yeah. I don't want those. They don't smoke like nothing. And keep those shits. Now bring me when you got something that you growing that I could see the process and I could tell that people at the facility fucking care. Yeah. And then we could talk about putting my great name on top of this great product.
Well, here we go.
Well, when you find that genetics that you're going to put your great name on, you're going to need amazing nutrients to grow your plants.
So what is the best
we have
nutrients?
A sponsor. New Millennium Nutrients.
Millennium Nutrients. So do those work with the reservoirs and the fucking for the indoor and all that?
That's for your indoor. Yeah, that's for your indoor gardening for like.
So if you got like a reservoir in a real facility and just like everything is lit, then this will be like the best nutrients to grow this shit. I want to grow some of this. Well, I want somebody to grow
This
some
is
of
all
that.
grown with New Millennium. Everything I grew here with New Millennium. So you like it already.
I think the pros
That's
use
that's
New
what I'm
Millennium.
segueing into.
I've heard of New Millennium.
Sponsors.
I got to ask my son, where's Vision?
But they're a sponsor of the show, so we'll get you linked up. We'll get you a sample set sent out to whoever out there in Cali, and we'll get,
Cali, yeah, because that's
we'll
where.
get that rolling.
Oh, that's dope right there. Yeah.
I'm trying to segue into shout outs here.
So look, the sample.
We got to give away a
of course,
lamp too.
Now this is great marketing.
You're gonna help me with all my shout outs today, right?
Yes.
Okay, we'll do that right now. We'll just we'll
Let's
roll
show
into
them
it. We'll just do it. This is the way I do my shout outs anyway. They're so tangent oriented. By the time I'm done, and people are like, dude, this took like an hour and a half to get those things done. I'm like,
Hey,
yeah, but they were cool, right? So
we
New
have to
Millennium,
give
which is our
away
first
a
sponsor.
lamp.
That's how we're gonna talk about right now.
You heard of New Millennium, the product to grow?
The newts.
Yeah.
The Newts. All right, this is my son. All right, let's go one time for Vision.
That's our first sponsor.
All right, bro.
All right.
I asked my son because I never heard. I'm like, yo, you know what New Millennium is? Like, what? The Newts? Like, what the fuck is Newts, bro? Nutrients. So that's the code name for it. Put me on. I'm 42. He's 24. We're reversing age.
Nice.
He's telling me. So you're guys. So well, hold on. Before we do all the shout outs, this is what this tells us. New Millennium is the product of the future. 20-year-olds and 24-year-olds already know. So you guys have not only promoted to guys my age and older, which is my age,
which is all we know,
right? You guys have marketed this product to 24-year-old kids.
It's
bro.
called New Millennium, so that kind of gets into
The New Millennium.
It gets into their. It gets underneath their skin. At that point, they're like, "Wait a minute, we are."
That's dope, bro. That you knew that for real, and it wasn't set up. Like we didn't even set that up. It wasn't staged.
We never do. We couldn't do it. We couldn't set it up on the show if we tried. That would be impossible. We'd fail. But no, the New Millennium nutrients, we've been using them. I've been using them for over 3-4 years now. I guess my mom loves it. That's what really matters, right? It's mom's approved, right?
Mom's approved.
Yeah, mom. Every time I try to bring something new to the table, she's like, "No, just using that."
So moms be growing too, bro.
Oh, moms be growing.
You betcha.
Sure. For sure. This is all.
Why couldn't I go?
This is all grown with motherly love right here.
Really?
Well, mixture, mother and son. It's like we're like a restaurant.
Right,
we're like I always feel like we're running a restaurant because we cook.
So
a
it's
lot
like
too,
mother and son picture on the package, and then it's like meat. Nah, that's culture shock.
That's more like a sitcom.
I see marketing. That's more like a sitcom, right? Hey, I got the cameras, bro.
He's ready for that one.
I'm ready to shoot, guys. Come on, Techie. We need you down here, bro.
Blue, what about edibles? Do you like good edibles?
So wait a minute, newmillenniumnutrients.com. That was our shout out. I know it was short and sweet and all over the place, but you see how authentic it was? Like I was saying earlier, we cannot be authenticity right there. If you're authentic, shit shines through everything. You know what I mean?
I'm ready for my sample pack that's going to lead me into spending hundreds of thousands of dollars, I'm sure.
I got you.
Okay, great.
Oh, and speaking of which, one of our listeners ordered a pet pack. I talked to Bo, who's the owner of the New Millennium, and he was like, "Hey, I just sent out a pet pack to one of your listeners." And he was like, it was just funny because it was like the main guy from the thing. He happened to pick up the phone, and he's like, "Oh, I got you. Don't worry, I got you." So and he goes, "I didn't charge him nothing. I paid for all the shipping. It don't matter, whatever. Take care of it." So he gave him like one of everything just for free just for calling up. So that just tells you.
Got to ask.
All you got to do on my show is it's a squeaky wheel gets oiled first, right? So just call whoever we tell you to call. Contact whoever we tell you to contact. Just say you listen to the show, and they'll be like, "Fuck yeah!" And boom, you get yourself free shit like that. That pet pack's worth like hundreds of dollars.
But you got to make sure you're gonna buy something after that, though. See, that's when I come in. Like, we're gonna give us something for free.
Yeah.
But we got to be working with each other, guys. Let's be fair, guys. We still have to be fair. Right.
That's right. That's right.
Holy shit! There's a ding.
But if you want to just chill out and eat some edibles.
All right, so what about all these new edibles? Like people are going and seeing everything in the store, and then they're making like everything.
Yeah, well, let me save you the time. Instead of buying everything, just buy anything. Buy Medically Correct, Incredibles Edibles here in Colorado, or True Pure for CBD nationwide.
They've nailed it every time.
Because it's the same thing every time you take the product.
Consistency is the key.
So is it like brownies and...
Yeah, it's like
chocolate bars,
they're more chocolate oriented, chocolate
gummies,
bars and gummies and mints and things. But their chocolate bars are so fucking on point, and they're always the same because they grow their own materials. So they're growing the shit, processing it themselves, then making the edibles. So every time the recipe's the same instead of like taking in this or taking in that.
So that's one of our brands too, right? Hey, yo, text me all these brands, guys.
That's right.
Yeah, I got to get these brands
Pumpkin
text
pie.
over to me so I can send over the
What's
invoice.
the deal in California? Are they in California yet, or?
I don't know if they're in California, but I know every state in the union besides California
That shit got me
can have
leaning.
True Pura CBD sent to them. And if you enter Done Deal at checkout, you get 20% off your order. They'll ship you their gummies, their tinctures. They have salves for pain relief. It's totally legal to ship everywhere there is. So you go to truepura.com and you enter Done Deal at checkout. They're the most trusted edibles company, the most respected, and they're the number one selling medical edible in the state of Colorado. So True Pura, Incredibles, Keek, Clear Creek Extracts is another one of their brands. Give them a try. They're great products. But if you happen to be in Colorado Springs, you can mention the Done Deal at Green Farms Med, and they carry Medically Correct or Incredibles products, but they have you like Adam's flower right there. I'm telling you, they grow one of his strains for bubblegum. They call it Juicy G. Absolutely phenomenal. And it's got those terps that you probably would really.
So other people grow your strains?
Yeah, because I put out genetics, so it's like once it's out there, of course they're growing my shit, right?
Hey, this is lit, bro. I'm lit right now, bitch. And I'm trying to tell you, I'm lit. I'm with the fucking man, bro. You guys better look at me. Remember this face. I'm with the man right now. It's fucking Adam Dunn, bro. I didn't even know who it was until I had to do my research yesterday. My man, Alex, was like, yo.
What did you think of his baseball career?
Yeah, you can look up the baseball player. That'll fuck you up. You'd be like, wait a minute. Who's that guy?
I looked up the pot extraordinaire.
So listen, JW at Green Farms Med really takes pride in his business.
Well, he grows the thing. So this guy grows 100% organically. Also, he grows in like when I say organic, it's like he makes his own ferments. Okay. Can you send? Do you have that photo that JW sent you? Can you send that to Mark and have him post that picture of that crazy off the chart? I don't know what it is. And I'm not going to say it's real results? Because I'm not going to say it's real.
I can't send the one he sent me because it has his personal information on there.
Oh, okay. Well,
posted a different one on Instagram.
He has it on Instagram. What are you talking about?
Well, then grab the one from his page on Instagram.
So that's like he's already put it out there. Like,
right now.
Or crop it.
So anyway,
send it to me. I'll crop it.
So he has a product that got tested and it came back at 59 point something % cannabinoids. Right?
Yeah.
Hold up, plant. I'm talking about a flower. Flowers I've never seen over 33% or in like any realistic term where I've been like, yeah, okay, that's possible. But it was mostly CBD, which was really weird, right? It was 48% CBD, which is
48.82% CBD, 0.31% Delta 9 THC, 8.68% THCA. Also 23.23% CBD. So there's some already activated in it as
well. That was a nitrous pack.
And the thing about it is they've been growing this plant for a while. And what he did was he started making ferments, right? He was fermenting his own byproduct, plant material. He made ferments, and all of a sudden now everything's going off the chart with these on the scale. So I don't know what's going on, because to me it's already sounding like it doesn't make sense here. It's like, what? That doesn't.
Like, who overdosed off that shit?
No one overdosed, but it was processed by Agricor Labs, so they're a reputable testing facility.
Oh no, it's a real test, then.
You know, he's doing some fantastic things. So remember, if you're in Colorado Springs, go to Green Farms Med. It is one of those. I don't know how to describe it so much. Your flower's a lot like that. The smell of the bouquet before you smoke it translates into the smoke, which
that's what
doesn't
I like.
Always happen. So this is he really takes pride in what he does.
Yeah.
When it burns. It's some of the top flower I've smoked in recent history. So
you don't want it to taste like cardboard when it looked like,
you don't want it to taste like nothing that it didn't smell like at all. Once it burns, it's going to do something different.
Yeah.
So if you got, that's why I don't just want to take Lil Joe and them shit. Whoever is trying to offer me these companies like, hey, with your name or with BMF, they have a big meat strand, but that I don't like nothing.
Yeah.
Because I'm a real self-proclaimed connoisseur until I met Adam here, and now he's really teaching me. You know what I'm saying? But
it's like, you definitely don't. It's like going to doing your merch at a shop that sells to like anybody and just puts their name on some crap and then you get it and you sell. It's like that's not really like doing anything. You want to go to.
That's kind of like what I did with my shit. This is BMF Originals, guys. Since we're plugging shit,
yeah. But
go ahead. Since we're going ahead and we're showing great products, but actually we made these ourselves. We didn't use a company that just like we did this with our. I'll make you a shirt, like, bro. You order a shirt
if you're going to grow, you should get the same soils that Green Farms uses.
I can't
you
grow.
go to buildasoil.com.
Somebody's going to have to.
Well, we're going to find the right people.
Yeah, we got to find the right people because I'm too busy, bro. So the plants will die. Like, you guys will hate me.
But your guys, when they want to plant.
Right. I need to market. I'm like you, bro. I'm the marketing guy. So I'm like, okay, we have this great product. Let me go figure out how to make $10 quadrillion off of it. And then we're going to take this product to the
10 quadrillion.
Well, then say this. Say buildasoil.com.
I want at least 20 quadrillion, please.
We're going to shoot for the stars and hopefully we land on the moon.
When you get those quadrillions, you want them.
Moving on to.
All right. We're on to
buildasoil.com.
Oh, shit. These guys will deliver soil to you also. To your door. Soil. And any kind of amendments you need or any kind of extras.
Tell one of your guys to turn their speaker down on the YouTube.
But I thought we was going in a little foam box thing.
Oh, we can do it. No, if you want the taste and the flavor, you want to grow in soil. But if you want to do production, and make it look pretty, you grow in that.
See, I told you they've been trying to hit me, bro. They're like, look at this, what we got. It's great. We have this big company and they're coming. And I'm like, is that
no? We got
the cigarette company.
We got the opposite. We got a company run by a family guy, super cool, who takes pride in his work. He grows weed right in his shop. So it's
like the halal of weed.
He grows weed right in the store. He's got
like halal weed.
You go in, this is this grown in this is grown in that. So you're like, oh, this guy's taking it seriously. He's not fucking around. And everybody who works in the store knows what's up. You talk to them, and they got trucks going in and out all day because they're shipping shit all over the place. So they're not small by any means in the sense of like. In the organic world, they're probably one of the top dogs. Like it's weird. It's like now getting to the point where everywhere across the board, I listen to all different podcasts and stuff, and people are all pointing back to these guys because they know how to ship you to your door the products that you need. Like bam, like you just get it, call them, it's delivered. It's the right shit. If it's not, they'll make sure it gets fixed. If you need help figuring out your thing, they'll come out. If they're close enough, they'll drive out to your place. If you're in Colorado, they'll come out and help you figure it out. Help too. One of our listeners turned his whole thing around for him. He came over and straightened him out. It was like, that's kind of what you need. So buildasoil.com. You go to 855-877-SOIL. You tell Jeremy you heard about it on the show, or anybody that you talk to just heard about it on the Adam Dunn Show. You got to use Done Deal on checkout. You say Done, you punch in Done Deal, and you're going to get yourself a discount on your order. It's that easy.
Discount code Done Deal. Don't forget it.
Yeah, that's it. That's how we roll. Everything. Keep it simple.
Stuck at home. And
before it was all these different codes, and my head was getting spun.
It's just a done deal, bro.
Yeah, it is.
So easy and easy to remember.
Much easier.
And save some money.
Yeah.
Come on, man. We all about saving money.
Yeah. Speaking of which.
Well, you got to go to Hubbard Glass, right? It's Praetorium.
It's Patreon.
Patreon/Hubbard
Glass.
And you
so
can
this is a pretty cool thing. This is a friend of ours who has he's a glass blower, and he wanted to teach people how to blow glass, but he does teach people how to blow glass, but he wanted to do it online. But he just does it like kind of like it's $8 a month, and you got lessons in your house to learn how to blow glass. But he also does for $80 a month if you want to just get glass, like you don't want to blow glass.
So blow glass is like that.
Yeah, like stuff like this. Yeah, exactly. Like this is all done by another friend of ours from Jerome Baker Designs. He did this top, and Jerome Baker has been around since the 90s. This is like a total 90s
So
shape.
you made that?
He made this part. Yeah, this is all.
I'm saying, so how about that? Like, how do you made that? Once he blew the glass, you made that? You didn't buy it as one piece?
No, this connects. This just connects. Like
See,
that.
I'm learning, guys. Sorry, guys, and viewers, please bear with me.
So that just connects like that, right? So that piece is.
So you can put anyone that'll fit in there.
Yeah, and then you just got to get the right attachment.
Exactly. It's cool.
Yeah. So anyway, but Hubbard Glass, he teaches you how to blow glass, or you could be like a member and get a piece that's worth about $100 every month for $80 sent to your door. So it could be something different each month. Could be just marbles. Could be some, but it's all collectible and high quality. And can you know what I was wondering? Can you just say, hey, you know what? Skip the like $100 a month, and like every 6 months, send me a nice $600 piece. That's fucking like sick. You know what I mean? Because I don't mind waiting.
That is a great idea. We should probably bring that up to him.
Because I would totally be down with that. Because if you start getting like every month a little piece, you might be like, all right, dude, I get enough knick-knack, paddywhack, give a dog a bone kind of shit. I want the meaty shit. Give me the good stuff. Because we all want that big piece.
I want to wait 2 years.
Yeah, exactly. Because once you've done it,
I want to pay up front.
Well, that's I just bought it. That's called dying shit.
Yeah,
you reinvented.
I told you, bro, my humor. I'm sorry, guys.
You heard it here on the Adam Dunn Show.
Right. Hold on, man. I'm going to pay for this in advance, but I'm going to
take it now.
Pay it in full. But I'm going to leave it here, and I'm going to get it later.
That's lay.
That's right away. That's not layaway. That's right away.
Right away.
So tell your friends standing in the room right there, they need to go to patreon.com/Hubbard Glass.
So guys, we have to go to patreon.com/Hubbard Glass to get our, that's not it.
Was that close or was that right?
No, that's it.
No, that's it.
Oh. Come on, bro. I'm a professional at this. I told you I'm a marketing, advertising.
I'm the opposite.
Baby God.
We're going to work together.
So like I was saying, when you want your best in blown glass, go ahead to our friends over at Come on, help me out.
Hubbard Glass.
All right. Onward.
So listen, we had Justin Hartman from OZO Coffee on earlier. Do you drink coffee, Blue?
I do drink coffee, sir.
You know what? You were just the seat you're sitting in. There was a Honduran coffee roast grower prior to you, and they had they really bonded. Okay, my guy Justin Hartman at OZOcoffee.com. OZOcoffee.com. Come on, co-host.
OZOcoffee.com.
Yeah. There you go. And at OZO, if you enter Dunn Deal at checkout, you get 20% off your order. That you heard about their.
Tell people to buy 5 pounds at a time, so they get a free.
Yeah.
So you mean to tell me that they went from 5% to 20%?
That's right.
20% off your order if you enter Dunn Deal at checkout.
That's almost half the order, bro. They trying to go broke over there. Hurry up, guys. Hurry
I don't know what math you're doing.
Now.
It's an indictment of the
education
education
system. Before they change their mind from the 20% back to the 5%.
Wait, you got to, come on, co-host. You got to repeat. You say to your boys right there, OZOcoffee.com, and they need to enter Dunn Deal, and they need to buy a lot of coffee.
Listen, guys, you got to hit OZOcoffee.com, and then you have to put in your secret code, which is, you already know, Dunn Deal. And then you can get the best coffee. I mean, the beans, listen, it's not even to be spoken
You won't
about.
buy Starbucks now. Or any of this.
What?
Yes, right. That's exactly what.
He who's not should be named. Like, come on, bro.
That's right.
Do you travel to Barcelona at all?
I wish.
So when you can travel to Barcelona, you got to hit up one of the best.
We have a friend over there with.
I travel to Barcelona.
Rim shot symbol crash, Mark. Come on.
That was good. I like it.
Sorry. All right, I'm coming. Hold on.
You go to Treasure Cannabis Club.
There's that. Oh, he got my back. See, we getting it together. Next episode, when I'm the main host, I mean, we'll get it all figured out.
It'll be smooth out.
You go to Treasure, you enter Dunn Deal, although, are they open right now, Adam, or did they? Yeah, I know they were closed last week.
Closed. The whole Spain is locked down. I just talked to a friend of mine's mom was in Spain, and she's like, it's crazy. They have to ask permission to like walk their dog by the army.
Holy
they have
fuck.
to contact the army and say, I'm going to walk my dog. Please don't shoot me.
Yeah, and in America, they're in the strip club like, don't stop, get it. Like, I don't fucking understand. Who's wrong and who's right? All right, that's another conversation.
I like this
next
guy.
Podcast.
Who knows? Because this gets played for like forever and repeat. So like, yeah, it can either go one way or the other with the way when you start getting all these major issues. You start getting these major issues. You're like, yeah, probably don't want to go there. keep it on. So people
listen,
like, yeah, you were
Blue,
completely wrong.
If you were in Barcelona and then you come back to Denver, Pueblo, or Colorado Springs, you go to Apothecary Extracts, and there's
we
some
just had
fire.
them on the show.
He was on the show earlier. It's
can't see it, but
the gold standard.
So let's remember,
they make
fire.
Let's remember, I need to try all of these products because I need to continue this great knowledge, this great word spread of weight.
Well, the beauty of it is it's for sale in Denver, Pueblo, and Colorado Springs at Apothecary Extracts. And
wait, hold on.
I want the Dunn deal.
The word apothecary.
Apothecary.
Yeah, it's an old-fashioned way to say drugstore, basically.
Apothecary Extracts. Guys.
Yes.
When in Denver.
Look at them. They're all faded.
And you Colorado Springs. He's like, yo.
What do you get? What do you get? You get a gram of ambrosia and an infused joint for $25. Okay, that is a great deal.
Like
so
all
a gram
these
of ambrosia
are so cost efficient.
Ambrosia is like another kind of their own personal term for that exact sauce diamond kind of combo, which is exactly what we're smoking here. Which is
so the diamond terp,
the diamond, terp.
AKA the diamond terp.
Yeah.
Oh, that might be that might be my
But Apothecary Extracts
might have to be my sauce right there.
Yeah.
When we were talking about that smell from your nose, translates into the smell from the dab. So that is the sign of just quality extracts. So you go to Apothecary Extracts in Denver, Pueblo, or Colorado Springs, mention the Dunn deal. And if you're stuck at home and you're doing any type of like making essential oils, your own extracts, you have a cannabis garden, you want to make some cannabis oils, some tinctures, you go to extractcraft.com and you can get one of two machines, right? The Ito Pro and what's the junior one called, Mark?
It's called the Source Turbo.
The Source.
And,
push one button, Blue. One button, it makes your extracts. Adam's he's going to go blibbity blobbity bloobity bloobs, with buttons. There's no buttons. You push one thing, it runs start to finish. And that's it. You can't fuck it up. My son says there's 47 ways to fuck it up.
It won't make this.
It's harvested.
It'll make you,
whatever this is, it's a whole joint smoking. And all I smell is this, bro, because there's no top on it.
And inside that extractor, you're going to need a solvent, and that solvent is called 420 extractor. They make a bunch of different alcohols that you can use. I actually wrote to them with a dumb question because I can't find isopropyl anywhere. And I'm like, what do you have that will work for me cleaning glass? So he's going to hook me up with something to get going on that.
Oh, you did you got in touch with them? Good, because I couldn't find the number. I was like, where is it? I don't know. Good.
Yeah, so you go to 420 extractor. You can pick it up. The thing is, they look like
extractor in Denver.
Yeah, they look like leaders of hooch.
Oh, they ship. Hey, bro, don't worry about it. We can sit at home and play PlayStation. They ship them worldwide.
They ship it all to you directly to you.
I don't know about worldwide, but they can ship all.
Not worldwide because it's alcohol. You got to be careful.
Nationwide.
Exactly.
Nationwide. And you got to mention Dunn deal.
But the cool thing is you can get like 2.5, 5-gallon totes. You know what I mean? Shit like that, serious amounts. Because it's basically like 99% pure alcohol, but it's food grade, so you don't have to worry about so you can use it anywhere and everywhere without having to worry about it being deadly.
Do you ever get to Boulder, Colorado? If you get to Boulder, you go to 14erboulder.com and they put my face on a strain of cannabis.
That's your face on the product? Come on, man. You got to plug me, bro. I need my face all over these products, bro.
He beat you to it.
You beat me to it? This is crazy.
This guy right here. This fucking guy.
Look at this.
This fucking guy.
Face for radio, and apparently
face for radio.
Face for radio.
And he somehow
and a can of weed.
On the can.
So listen, you go to 14erboulder.com. You place your pre-order online. They can only have one person in the store at a time. You're going to get a text that says your pre-order is done. You show up. You let somebody know you're there. They're going to tell you when it's your time. In and out, bing, bang, boom. No fuss, no muss. Cash only. You got to wear a mask when you come in. But they are dropping so many flavors this week. Yes, I'm going to throw my arm out, pat myself on the back. But there's like 10 DJC crosses coming out. DJC is a Deadhead Jamaican cross. It's a truth landrace from Jamaica crossed with Deadhead OG. So
he's already like, what?
It is fire. I smoked it all day today. I think that's why I'm so fucking stoned for the show, because it is fire. I got a couple of cans for you tomorrow.
Nice, dude.
It is fire. Their rosin process, I know you're smoking ambrosia there right now, but I'm telling you, their rosin is the stuff of legend. It's like this white buttery fluff, and it just volatile. It is so potent and so wonderful. You got to go to 14erboulder.com. It's Boulder, so there's no discount, but trust me, the Dunn deal is just us telling you this is where the fire is. And then
Oh shit!
oh shit! James Bean, he's in costume.
James Bean, man on the scene.
Who's that?
Oh yeah.
Hold on. We're almost to you. We're almost to you. Two more.
So close.
Two more, James Bean. So listen. You tell your boys right there, Blue.
Just like I told them.
Fishheadfarms.com. Tell them.
Fishheadfarms.com.
Best shit.
This is the coolest thing. Listen, I'm telling you the truth here. Everything I'm about to say is true. They have tilapia fish. They're all wearing diapers, and they harvest the diaper and they sift out the poop and they put it in a jar, and it is the best additive to your garden, vegetables, cannabis that you can put on it. It'll increase your terpene profile. It's called Fishhead Farms, and the product is fish shit. True. Diapers. We have photos.
Fishhead Farms.
.com.
Fishhead Farms.
Fishheadfarms.com.
Fish shit. Tilapia.
Hey, why are you going to Fishhead Farms today? Man, I got to go get some of that fish
shit.
It's making my tomatoes grow crazy.
See?
Man, that's the whole commercial. Look, take the audio. Thank me later. All right.
You got to enter Dunn deal at checkout. And this is our best Dunn deal. It's 25% off.
25%. These guys go above and beyond.
All right. So now, what is this like? Just keep the lowest to the highest in the increase of.
It kind of is. It kind of is.
You know what? They're killing the market, and they know that our audience right now grows everything from cannabis to vegetables, and especially since this all Michigan started, everyone's growing everything, and you better maximize your yields, your flavor, your terps. That's what fish does.
It's like the perfect little. There's always like a little thing that just puts it over the edge, and that's kind of what that product is. It's like that extra little ceiling point. I use it. I use it in all everything. You're smoking it right now. Everything here has been growing with this.
Listen, bro.
Yeah,
Fishhead Farms.
I use what I get.
Fishheadfarms.com has.
If you're not using it, you're stupid. Say it.
Yeah.
Yo, Fishhead Farm, Fishhead.
I feel like you keep looking at a whole bunch of people that are standing behind the camera, and I know they all have glass on them right now, right? They're all smoking pipes, right? They're all getting dirty. You got to get Terp wipes, okay? Terp wipes. I believe it's.
And I had them here too, but I think something got. No, they disappeared.
There it is.
Also, the Terp. All right, let me guess.
Clean them up.
The Terp wipes wipe it up so next time you smoke, you get the full taste of the terp that you're on, and not the.
You're not getting a taste of resin. My wife did a video where she cleaned out a stem. It is a superior product. It's not like a Curate alcohol prep pad. It's 4 times the size. It is a fantastic product.
Cleans everything down. I wiped everything down before.
Enter Dunn deal at checkout. That's why it's so
clean. See, before it had all resin all over and dirty. Clean that. When I pop that out, I clean that.
I believe it's a 10% discount at Terp wipes, but just enter Dunn deal.
Buy a box of those and you have them there.
Well, wipes are a lot more expensive right now because of COVID. So any kind of wipe is going to be a little more expensive, but guess what? At 10% off, might be the only people giving you a discount on any kind of cleaning product.
Two of our sponsors are literally went into that industry where one of them, the guys that do the alcohol, they started to make hand sanitizer.
Right.
And then these guys could easily be like taking it, they're doing the Terp wipes, which were like right there where you're like, I would pay so much for this one little tiny thing. You see the price already going through the roof. But these they're thicker, bigger. They work better than any typically the little tiny normal ones you get.
Great product. Terp wipe.
My wife snagged 4 boxes out of the main box as soon as they arrived. It is a great product. You got to get them. But then, come on, tee up James Bean, baby. Where are you?
Exactly. That brings us to our
man on the
James
scene.
Bean. Give him the horns. Give him the horns. He doesn't know without the horns.
Where is he?
He needs the horns.
Hit the video. He's a non-video participant.
Man on the scene. Now he's not quite there, but here he is. Breaking news. Nice.
There he is. Turn your phone the other direction there, James.
And he has no sound.
You have to unmute.
Does he have no sound?
I've got many things going on.
He's on mute.
Hello? I've got many things going on. I'll be back in just a second. Many things are breaking right now. I'll be right back.
Are you really going somewhere? Oh my God. James Bean. What is that, porno?
They said, oh boy. Oh God.
That looks weird. Something looks weird. Strange. Mommy. You're giving him the
Let's move on. Let's move on from James Bean.
So James Bean
let's
is
call. Let's give our Illuminar.
He fucked up.
So James Bean is not only the man on the scene, but he's also the owner of one of our biggest sponsors, the longest running, seedsherenow.com, which means you can get seeds right here, right now, wherever you are, .com, right, anytime. All the different breeders, not just me, but 50 other breeders, the best of the best, all selected by him.
Comes back.
Good God.
And he comes back looking better than ever.
I tell you what, it's a madhouse over here. It is definitely a mad. Oh, hello, guys. Hey, leave me alone. Media pass. Fucking people.
Wow, James, you are above and beyond.
Well, it's rough. It's rough out here.
Where are we, James Bean?
I asked him to go like this, and it's funny how he came out.
Where are we? Where are you? We are live at election headquarters right now, actually. So I just want to, first and foremost, everybody needs to go out and vote.
Is anybody else going to throw up from him constantly turning his phone sideways?
It's awesome.
Yeah,
I don't know how he's
stop doing that.
It's amazing.
It wasn't me. It was the hordes of people that have gathered around here, waiting for the output. So.
Yeah, they're
first and foremost, do not wear a green shirt for a green screen.
Oh yeah,
so there were some questions that came up as to where you'll ship your seeds. So if somebody goes to seedsherenow.com,
like butter and toast.
Coast to coast, like butter and toast, yes.
I'm everywhere you want to be.
Butter and toast.
Did you hear that, Blue? Seedsherenow.com. You enter Dunn deal at checkout. Remember.
Seedsherenow.com. Enter your special code, Dunn deal.
That was our shtick from the beginning, was the seed.
Seeds here now. Seed. See,
I already know, bro.
It rolls off.
It's natural.
So James Bean, you missed. So we missed you last week. We actually posted the story because we didn't want it to get dated. But can you fill us in on what happened in Spain? Because it was pretty crazy how the Spanish came in and busted all the seed producers over there, the major ones. And these guys have been doing, some of them have been in business about 17 years, paying taxes. You know, it's like kind of like, hey, I'm paying taxes. I should be like left alone. But now all of a sudden there seems to be a little bit of a mood shift towards people doing seed production. Tell us what went down, or what you know.
Well, a lot of it is hearsay so far. Well, not so much hearsay, shall we say. I got the tip, came through. I'm trying to pull up the exact conundrum on what it is, but before we had wanted to talk about that, I had a couple other things here I was gonna touch on.
Oh, okay, well, tell me what's up.
Well, no, we can talk about the Dynafem thing. So basically, Lamoda, Dynafem, and Humboldt Seeds, not to be confused with Humboldt Seed Company, which is the guy I represent who lives in Humboldt. This is Humboldt Seed Organization, who's in Spain. They had basically all got busted. They're a company that does 18 million euros in seeds, and they had the full Spain force came in through and went down on them. Although they say that they've paid over 2 million in taxes, anything in the euro, anything over 10 million gets an automatic audit. So they've been playing by the books, doing what they should have. And what's always kind of kept all of the seed guys sort of safe is that in 1962, when they had the major convention and they outlawed drugs for all the world, they left out in 1961 the single convention on narcotic drugs. Incorporated the official Journal of the State, November 4th, 1981. Blah blah blah. It excludes seeds and leaves, and so cannabis and marijuana is illegal all over the place, and they fell that into it. But it didn't include seeds or leaves. So it's very odd. It's also with the favoritism that seeds or cannabis is now having, for them to come down and shut down a major organization like that is quite out of the ordinary. The body of the Ministry of Health has the power to authorize and the cultivation of cannabis and research. and they decided to go through and bust everything down. So it's a very weird thing because it's not covered under the 1961 convention, but yet they're still breaking the rules, so to say, and going after it. Due to the temporary closure of the entity's laboratory, the team made
Blue's
a doctor.
passing out.
I'm looking at.
You killed him. You killed him.
I'm listening, bro. I'm like a
killed
sponge,
him.
Trust me.
He's
But I see he's setting up all these monitors. I don't know if y'all know what he's doing, but
no. I'm just looking at I was looking for the chat. I was trying to get the chatting. I was watching.
And he's got monitors everywhere.
Basically,
man.
I was watching Dave, and I was like, all right, the chat gang is going nuts, or something's going on. He was melting down up there.
They like Blue dying because look, my head getting closer and closer to the side of this chair. Look. I'm going to just hold my fingers up so y'all know I'm still alive.
Yeah, okay, there we go.
That shit was good.
Of course, the first thing I see is rosin dogs.
So James Bean, what's the hope? What's going to happen right now? Are they going to put out legislation so the companies can start to do business, or are they going to try to criminalize it and take them through the court system?
Well, as an unbiased newsman, those are competing companies, and so we'll leave the hope alone. But I don't quite know what's going to happen over there and what they're trying to do and why they're doing it. It doesn't make sense to go against the people, to take away all that tax revenue and shut things down.
It means somebody has a way of making more money some other way. That's the only reason they would do something like that. They're gonna, somebody's going to make some money off of it.
More importantly here, we have the election coming up next Tuesday. I know we don't get political on here, and I'm going to tell you who to go to vote for. I am going to tell you, get off your ass and go fucking vote. Okay? Now the Democrats kind of fucked up. If they would have done it better, they would have had more weed on the ballot. This year we have
more weed on the ballot. That's the thing. Yes. So easy.
This year we only have 4 states on the blocks for regularization. Anybody want to name those 4 for me in the chat gang for a pack a year?
Come on, do it.
I want to hear though.
My kids found the fart machine. Can you hear that?
No, that's not one of the 4. Fart machine is not qualified.
Not the right state? Come on. It has to be. It's either fart machine or toaster.
Yeah, you hear it?
What's the state?
So we're gonna hold on the 4 states, and we're gonna let everybody try to chip in, see if they can guess. And we're gonna jump to Sean Kemp is opening a chain of stores in the United States. Sean Kemp, the basketball player.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, nice.
Wow. He's got 10 baby daddies. Gary Payton is planning on being there, which we all know the strain gets Gary Payton. Sean Kemp, of course, is a 6-time All-Star. 14-year NBA player for the Seattle Supersonics.
Look at you.
I said, tell Blue he can't smoke the seeds. I'm sorry. I see why he was laughing now. They tripping. See, y'all should have been letting me read they shit the whole time. I love y'all, man.
No, we don't want you looking at that during the show.
That's the problem.
All right, yeah, it's going to get all right.
Wait a minute. That guy said what? And then you go,
yeah, y'all funny though, bro.
No, they're hilarious.
Rosin Dogs is the best.
Yep.
I like this audience.
So in other news,
they named it South Dakota. Was it one of them?
South Dakota?
South Dakota is one of them. Ding, 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 hey.
All right, let's go for whoever says South Dakota, Arizona, and some other places.
Yeah, do our work.
Arizona is also one of them.
Yeah.
All right, whoever that was, put it up again so we can see. I think
ding, 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 ding.
We need 2 more.
What is their super prize? All right, look, if you get all 4 right,
oh yeah, you get some seeds.
I'm gonna award you what I'm gonna take a hit of this motherfucking rig until I cough.
Oh, that'll happen.
Oh, that'll happen right away. We saw
Arizona, Montana, New Jersey, South Dakota.
That was the first guess.
Yeah, we need all 4.
2 at least, right?
Okay, the second
was that 2 out of the 4?
The second one was Kentucky, New Jersey, Nevada, South Dakota.
No.
Montana, Arizona, Arkansas, Oklahoma. I don't know.
Nail it.
Wrong. No, Arkansas. Montana.
No. Montana, yeah?
Montana. Medical cannabis has been legal in the state of Montana since 2004. A bill called Montana I-190, subject to the Referendum Act this week, will allow the sale and possession of cannabis for adult use. If approved, residents will be allowed to keep up on 4 mature plants and up to 4 small plants. I-90 will also.
That's the real newsman right there. Go newsman.
Anyone from prison will be excluded from their prison sentence for cannabis offenses. Another bill put forward, C-118, will determine if I-90 will also apply to adults over 18. So they've got two bills, over 18, over 21. New Jersey approved its medical cannabis 2010. Referendum bill called Public Question Number 1 is approved. Full legalization includes the sale and possession of cannabis from the age of 21 will be put in place. Products will be taxed at a very low rate, amounting to just 6.625%.
What?
California taxes at 28%, just so you know.
That's nuts.
Jersey's doing it 6.625.
There you go.
Keep the prices low in order to keep competitive on the black market. That's what they're aiming for. South Dakota, two bills will be passed in the state of South Dakota. Proposition 26 will allow doctors to prescribe medical cannabis for the treatment of various diseases, while a second proposal, Constitutional Amendment A, would be eligible for full legalization. South Dakota currently has one of the strictest cannabis laws in the United States. The state has even added an inside possession law, which means if a person is positive on the saliva test, for example, even that was used to make in the state where the cannabis is illegal. All right. The law still considers it a criminal offense in the event that the Constitutional Amendment
I love the green shirt in front of the green screen.
Yep. I got my suit jacket.
We need to switch that up, obviously.
I'll work on it. It's the first time. I'll try it.
No, it's perfect. Everything else is awesome, dude. You're killing it.
Now,
this is it. This is the new news segment already. We got it down. Now we know. This is how it needs to look every week.
Now, do we talk about Mississippi? Mississippi will increase the bill for medical cannabis only. According to your proposal, Initiative 65, cannabis issuance will be possible to treat a variety of conditions from cancer to Crohn's. The same bill vote will also include Initiative 65A, an alternative bill that restricts the use of medical cannabis only to terminally ill patients. Mississippi is one of the most conservative states in America. Lawmakers are apparently trying to prevent the permissive bill through 65A. Recent polls show that 81% of residents support medical cannabis. Last but not least, Governor Cuomo up in New York said that legalizing cannabis could be a major way to help the state recover from an economic crisis. A virtual event last week, he was asked when New York would approve the legalization of cannabis.
Hey, fucking forget about it.
He replied, soon, because we need the money now. I have tried to do this. That's how it works. Years. There are many reasons to do it, but one of the advantages is that it generates significant income. We'll be looking for income right now, and I think that will make cannabis legal. And so that's also in New York. So that's what's going on in our local legislation.
James the low-hanging fruit situation. James Bean, man on the scene, for real this time.
Yes, sir.
And as far as federalized legalization goes, the United States House of Reps intended to pass a bill and an amendment to the cannabis law on the federal level, as well as part of the bill, more last September. Fortunately, the vote was delayed until after the elections. Shelved. Although the bill probably would not have passed by the Republican-controlled Senate because we're all a bunch of assholes. Since the draft was resubmitted by the Democratic side, it's probably only a matter of time before more legislation and similar legislation takes a stand. And if the Democrats make a win in November, you can make sure that's going to come up above the board. Now,
all right, let's give away a lamp. Come on. Here we go. Baby.
What?
Yeah, we got a lamp to give away now.
Ukrainian voters are voting on the legalization of medical cannabis as we speak. Yeah.
Amazing. Yep. Amazing. But if you're going to grow your seeds, James Bean, shouldn't you use the best illumination out there? Right? Give your seeds.
Well, if you couldn't use the sun, then I would definitely.
If you can't use the sun,
illumination indoors,
then you should definitely use Illuminar. And you know what it means to be the last Friday in the month, right?
No, that I've got specials and deals I've got to tell you about. That's what that means.
Yes, don't step on his dick.
Yeah. So we've got right now. Let him finish.
What great language, kids! If there are any kids listening,
there's no kids. There's no kids. Everybody's fucking term jail.
Get it?
That's what's going on there.
What are your specials and deals where they can enter Dunn Deal?
Kid and play.
For the sales, for sales this week, we've got a pumpkin carving contest. And so to send us in the pictures of your pumpkins, we're going to give away 10 packs of seeds for the best pumpkin. All you got to do is submit it to us. We've also got our forums going back up. We've got test growers going back up. And We've got all kinds of shit happening. Rewards points. The special sale tomorrow. Let me
Tell
get
us.
that.
Blue, get ready. Tell your boys this. This is what you got to tell your boys. Special sale
15%,
tomorrow at
15% off
seedsherenow.com.
15% off everything for Halloween sale.
Got it?
15% off Halloween sale.
At where? Seedsherenow.com.
Oh, at Seeds Here Now?
.com.
Not tomorrow. Seeds Here Now.
Over at seedsherenow.com, we can get the 15% off everything on the store, bro. Write that down.
This Halloween, which is tomorrow.
Wait, no, Halloween is in
tomorrow.
I'm serious.
3.5 hours.
And it's on.
These are deals.
We're going Hell Night.
Folks.
Remember Hell Night on the East Coast? Remember that? Remember the rumor of Hell Night? Hell Night.
The last thing to promote is that we'll have Soulfire's drop happens tonight. His Don Mega drop. It's Don Mega crossed with Runs. Don Mega crossed with Don Mega. All kinds of goodies. That drops tonight, and everybody gets a free 10-pack as well with that. It's only available through us. So stop by the website.
Oh, yeah, that's dope.
Get some deals. Get high.
That's the shit.
Seedsherenow.com. You got to enter Done Deal at checkout. You can't double Done Deal, so you're going to get whatever
You can't get the double done yet.
tomorrow.
But I'm working on it. One day we'll have 1 month. We'll get 1 month out of the year. I can do the double done deal. How's that?
There you go.
Maybe in June when it's like your birthday.
June, my birthday. That's my birthday. Hey, June. Booyah. Double done.
Yeah.
Props to the Star Trek background there, James Bean.
You like that?
Yeah. Well, this has been breaking news. So
thank James Bean, man on the scene. News. Get him on the news on the outro.
All the news that's fit to see. James Bean.
And horns.
On the scene.
There we go. James Bean, man on the fucking scene.
Not kidding.
That's it. And then why do we have a double James Bean? Like, what's the other one? Is that like an imaginary James?
His audio.
This is audio.
Oh, he's doing his say. Oh, wow, he's so pro. Damn.
Yeah, audio, video. I got two.
Yeah.
You're the man. Nice. All right, well, killer. And I think we have to stick with this format because this makes it not only entertaining,
informative,
but informative. That's amazing. Yeah. James Bean.
All right, everybody.
Just in case for all of us who don't watch the news during the week, maybe
now
next time you come on, you'll wear the color of the winning party for president so we know next time.
Next time. On the next episode. We probably won't know. That's the crazy part of it, though, is I don't think by next show, which is next week, we're going to even know what the fuck's going on. It's still, we're going to go into this crazy, like, who knows how long, 10 to 12 days, I think, of just craziness because things are going to get like every.
I think we're going to know Florida because Florida is very skilled at mailing.
Not to get too deep into it, but just the way they're doing it, they're letting stuff. Some states are going up to like 10 days, 9 days after.
Yeah.
As long as it's postmarked before, depending on, because they can't slow it down, because people are going to be trying to do this, that, and the other. And all of a sudden it's like, okay, well, we're going to wait 9. So some states wait 9 days. So we can't know because in 9 days, all of a sudden, magically some fucking X amount shows up wherever. I think we're in for a crazy ride these next couple of weeks. But by next week, we will have no idea what the fuck's going on. But what can we do, James Bean will tell us, though, right?
James Bean.
It's actually my uneducated guess that I think that we'll know by the time the poll's in because of all the mail-in ballots will have been counted. And that should do,
how many gunshots? By the amount of craziness that are out there.
All right, come on. Let's give away a lamp.
All right, let's give a fucking lamp away. We're just trying to give away shit around here. That's all we do. So, Illuminar Lighting, if you're not familiar with them, these guys make the best in lighting. We have been giving away 315s for the last year plus, and now we're upgrading like everybody. Like if you're in California, you have to grow with LED. You know that, right? You cannot grow with regular lamps anymore. So people like Illuminar, they're covering all bases because there's some places like in Colorado, we can still grow with HIDs. And HIDs have their own place and LEDs have their own place. And most people didn't make that switch because LEDs are expensive. And the thing is that the technology is moving so fast that like if you bought one 5 years ago, you'd be like already upgrading to new shit. And you just like, it was 5 years ago, it was twice as expensive as it is now. Technology was half as good, and that's how things are rolling. So we're at this hyper speed thing. But when it comes to like up to the minute technology and at the same time robust and fucking built right, the guys over at Illuminar just crush it because their shit's like designed for growers by growers, like guys who have been like the main guy. He was making lamps called Quantum, which have been around forever, right? And I have a Quantum lamp that's probably 20 years old, that the ballast is still humming along perfect. His shit was always good, you know what I mean? Like, so some people just, you can tell they build something, they're going to build it right. And that's what Illuminar, all their stuff's like that. So what we do every month, the last Friday of every month, is we give away a lamp. But now we're going LED, and we're starting at the sort of base level, which is cloning, because that's, important for everybody. So they have a special light called the IL3 made just for cloning. It's right. You want to pull up the stats and check out the spectrum? Before I start talking on my ass with that, I have no idea, but I just know shit works.
Go to their website. You'll find all the information you want.
Yeah, and the thing is, when you're growing with different spectrums and different intensities, makes a huge difference. Like with clones, obviously you need less light, but you need the right spectrum and you need the right spread. And if you grow your clones really strong, your final crop is going to be super good. James Bean is still on the scene. You can't get rid of him.
Just had this come in. Breaking news. Little birdie wanted to tell me. Shout out to the chat gang. You guys are fucking hilarious. We love you.
Chat gang.
Tuning in.
Love you guys.
I want to stop in and say, hey, thanks for making it fun, and have a great weekend.
All right, Mark, let's call our winner.
Alrighty.
Here we go.
All right, this should all work. I
didn't get to finish the story. He doesn't even know what we're doing. So every month we have...
we're giving away the light. Last Friday of every month.
Give away a light every Friday. But the thing is that people got to write in and tell us why, right? They need a light. And so we get different styles. We had poems. We've had songs. We've had, some people make it real creative and you're like, all right, you win just for your creativity. Then other people is like, they got a good story. Other times you're like,
then somebody writes like, I'm trying to be Tony Montana.
You're like,
I need these lights.
Exactly.
Tony. I want to be Tony.
Exactly. And then you're like,
you're like, wrong.
And then other people are like, my grandmother just needs it. And you're like, all right.
So my grandmother needs it.
You're like,
here we go.
Being told.
Dial him up, Mark.
All right.
What do we got this month?
So
I know.
We'll go.
You guys can hear, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
He was a previous. We had called him, but he had such a great story that we wanted to give him a lamp. He really deserved it.
Yeah, we're gonna call him back.
He had an unfortunate situation.
That's the kind of show we are.
He was in the hospital when we called.
He missed us.
Hey, Michael.
Yo.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Hey, Michael.
What's going on, Mike?
Not much. I'm listening to the show all day.
Nice. Yeah, we saw you in the chat earlier. Right on.
We're glad. So,
Mike.
You got your word of the month all figured out, so we don't fuck up and be like, oh my god, now we got to do it again, like third time's a charm.
I got it. Reflectivity.
Ding, 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 ding.
He's got the word of the month.
Word of the month. Locked in.
Oh shit.
Winner.
Michael wins the LED lamp on the Adam Dunn Show.
Nice.
Oh, that was nice.
I'm going to forward all your information over to Liliana at Illuminar, and we'll get you all squared away there, Michael.
What gear you running, Michael?
Thank you guys very much.
Michael, what gear you running?
On Instagram.
Nice. Maybe you can't hear me.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
What gear are you running? That's what DJC was trying to ask you.
Yeah, I hear you guys. I'm at restoring SDS quality.
Oh, okay. Right on.
Yeah, and then I have some updates, some side by side with some other grow stuff.
Right on, man.
Cool.
Nice.
We'll keep in touch. Get him his gear, and then, like I said, just shout us out. Tell us. It's always nice to see the results of people's stuff after they get some gear, send it to them, and keep us updated.
Yes, definitely, guys. I will do so. I use it for the pain. I'm half the foot's gone, one toe's chopped on the other foot, and oh man, you guys can't even tell you guys how thankful I am for this light.
Thanks. Yeah, we're happy to help you out, and we want to, spread the love, please.
I sure will. Thank you. You guys
All
have a
right,
good
my
night.
friend. Thank
Enjoy
you.
the light, man.
All right, thank you. You guys have a good night.
Right on. Later.
Peace.
All right, man. Peace out.
Peace.
All right. So Illuminar Light is given away. Sponsors have been shout out. News has been done.
You almost killed a guest.
I almost killed another guest, but he's going to survive.
And I'm hungry, bro.
Everybody, yeah, that's part of the
Want some
adventure.
In-N-Out
Never
burger?
get fed. That's the part of the deal.
They don't feed anybody there? I thought this is $1 billion mansion.
We're in a multi-million-dollar.
Hey, man, I might just have to eat a peanut butter and Terps sandwich.
Oh, that'll work.
Yeah.
That'll work.
That's
for sure.
activated.
It's hard to get out of your teeth, though. It's like you get through the peanut butter and then it's all stuck to your teeth. It's like, motherfucker. You motherfucker.
A peanut butter and Terp
teeth.
sandwich.
I got Terp teeth.
Oh, man.
Thank you, MTI, for making this go in 3 different cities here.
I
and
know
keeping
you
us
could have
alive.
been here. Would have had it all set up.
I
We would
know,
have had
I could've
multiple
been
mics. It
there.
could have been going crazy. We had it all. Shit.
Smoking on some
MTI is the man. He made it happen
He always does. He always
while
does.
making it very smoky in the building.
He does his job well. You can do any shout outs if you want to now before we do, because we're about to finish. So if you want to shout out your son and crew and anybody like that, just
Oh, yeah, man. We
throw it
got
out
Little
there.
Monster. We got Vision, Ab, and Smooth, man. My guys, they riding around with me. My son, 24 years old, experienced cultivator. He knows a lot more about these kind of things than me.
Yeah, we'll get him on the show too. We
got to get him
He
on the
sounds
show.
like
'cause
me.
he's going to talk
Zoom,
more.
we do Zoom shows, so we can get
Yeah, he's going to talk more actual knowledge than me. Like, I'm more of a rapper type. You know what I'm saying? I've got the name. Hey, let's go ahead and make a great product, and let's figure out how to make money, guys.
Yeah, well,
let's get in the market.
The cool part is that
It's a great product.
And the other thing about it is, like with cannabis, it's all about paying forward, and that's what we love about it, because you grow a bunch of weed and then you take care of all your people. You smoke the best, you get rid of the rest, and everybody's happy, you know. And you just kind of move on. You get the best extracts from. Like you listen to the show, you realize best extracts don't come from the trash; they come from the fucking best of your stash. You know, everything's fucking like.
Oh, he's a rapper too.
You don't want it to
the
fucking.
best extracts don't come from the trash; they come from the stash.
That's how it all works. So it's thanks for
Dunn
checking
busting
in.
a rhyme.
Shout out to all the sponsors. Shout out to Dave, MTI,
Dave, MTI.
Mama Ace out at the farm. And the whole crew, Big Dummy's in town. Here, Big Dummy's out here. He's in the zone. I didn't tell him where I was because the last thing we need is him rolling through it.
He'll show up
in the show.
He'll show
next
up
week. Next week we bet him on. Definitely. See you guys next week, and just glad you could come through.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Happy Halloween. Be safe out there.
Please, everyone, be safe. Healing time, man.
Don't scare too much.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, well, it's usually what it's it's hard this year because I don't even know if kids are going to get any fucking candy. Normally,
Look,
it's like,
he's pulling
bring the
a
candy
me
to
right
Papa.
now.
That's the deal. That's why you have kids for. You have kids so they collect the candy for you, But, got to raise them right. Peace out, guys.
All right, peace.
See you next week.
Practically
every one of the top 40 records being played on every radio station in the United States is a communication to the children to take a trip, to cop out, to groove. The psychedelic jackets on the record albums have their own hidden.
This is a special question. We don't want you to smoke genetically modified ganja. We want you to smoke the real thing. We want you to smoke the natural herb. Some call it marijuana, some call it sensimedia, some call it lamb's bread, and some people call it ganja.